Hello. Hello, everyone. This is Darcinovia, once again, responding to bullshit. Now, normally, I would just dismiss this because does anyone honestly give a fuck about B-level or be liberal? Does anyone actually care? What we shouldn't be addressing this fucking sociopathic fucker that has done nothing but grift, 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 and do more grifting. He hasn't done anything productive. All he does is start feuds or get involved in feuds. He pretends to be everyone's friend until the situation presents himself and stabs him in the back. I mean, why are we still addressing this sociopath? That's one thing I would like to address here is if it weren't for my comrade who the liberal victim and his kid, I wouldn't be doing this. This is a solidarity to Comrade Net and Corporal Cat, victims of B-level. Last year, these people were doxxed, and B-level continues to lie and claim it never happened. He lies about everything. And the video in question I'm watching is the video on Ewoks Unhinged addressing one of Jason Unruh's most recent uploads. Now, for context, in 2021, when the fallout with me and B-level happened, there was a series of videos of denouncing B-level. Various people did it. The Engelsys, me, Falcone, and the video that Jason uploaded on his channel was Falcone's video. And this also goes to prove that B-level is a racist and is anti-indigenous and is unwilling to address Falcone directly. So he goes after Jason instead, even though it wasn't Jason's video, and claims this exonerates B-level, which is a joke. Anyone that knows anything about this controversy knows that B-level, there is no fucking evidence that he fucking did not know that what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. He fucking doxed someone who was fighting fascists in fucking Arizona and denies the Arizona massacre even happened in the first place. B-level is a scumbag. This is the same guy that doxed fucking a Jewish man and his kid. Think about this. It's one thing to not like Net, but to get his kid involved in this? It's some sick shit. It is some sick ass shit. And to make matters worse, someone that was his friend, he sent people after me when my mother wasn't even dead for 24 hours. This was back in 2020 when I did the stream where I denounced Nosballs. My last stream on Ewoks Unhinged. I would say it was my last because the one I did after that wasn't the same. B-level is a liar in every sense of the word. And I think we should denounce him and everyone that's associated with him. And you know what? I'm just going to say this. Fuck Trav and fuck Black Shirts TV. Anyone that's willing to associate with this scumbag is no comrade of mine. I don't fucking care about left unity. Fuck that. I'm for principles. If you're not for principles, fuck off. You're not a fucking communist. To me, you're just a fascist. I'll call you for what you are. And yeah, I'm not going to fucking hold back. Anyway, would you like what would you like to add more to this?
Oh, I didn't even see that, man. Yeah, I thought his video was really fucking stupid. Um, because I was like, what? I saw the title. I remember I was like, exonerates you. Where did he exonerate you? And then I watched it, and all it basically did was it put some fucking text up in front of it where he was like, "Oh, that's not doxing, not considered doxing." It's like he literally used absolutely nothing except useless fucking pedantry. Just how we know he's just like clamoring to try to save what little reputation he has left. Like it was so stupid. Like, so just because like information might be public in one area, doesn't mean that it's still not doxing if you're giving it to people who are your political opponents, and people that getting your family involved, like due
Well,
to something political. That's
well, here's
crazy.
the thing: the people that he got involved weren't, didn't know anything that was going on with this. That's
Yeah.
the thing, and he manipulated them too and screwed them over. Like he actually had them attack me when my mother wasn't dead for 24 hours, made up lies about me and Net, like we were out to kill them or something, or we had fucking some secret Antifa cells, or other kind of stupid, crazy nonsense he made up. Like he sent these people after me with and without them even knowing that my mother was dead. And when they found out, they may not be my friends, but they were fucking pissed.
Yeah, one of them even made a video, I believe, right? Like
Yes, because B level ruined their reputation. Oh my god, they attacked a grieving man. What that was? That's fucked up. Like any sensible human being would know that. Oh, you just don't fucking do that to people. You just don't. Not even to your enemies.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
It it just shows like the character that Be Liberal is. Like
he's
wherever
a
he goes, like he's just a little pedantic fucking like snake oil salesman. Like,
he nobody fucking likes this guy. Ask Star Wars fans that once interacted with him. Ask Mad Max. He'll tell you he has some fucking stories to tell you. Like the guy thinks he's so much fucking smarter than he actually is. He
yeah,
really
like
does.
yeah, I saw that debate he had back in the Star Wars days or whatever, and he was acting like an immature little shithead.
Oh yeah. And for those of you who don't know what I'm talking about, I'm not going to address that video here or show it to you because I want to address the video that Be Liberal like uploaded because it's just pathetic. It really is pathetic. Like I don't know how anyone can still take this guy seriously. Like I don't know if you guys noticed. Did you know Trell Traveler tried to get me to bear the hatchet with B level? He did. I'm not lying. He did.
Yeah.
And it's like this is the, it's like I don't care. I take back what I said in previous streams about Trav. I fucking can't stand the guy. Like opportunist piece of shit. He'll be friendly with everyone. Like if he were truly a principled communist, he would have denounced B level just like the rest of us, rather than just being a coward and just trying to suck up to Caleb and fucking Hawes.
But I just think it's funny that Caleb likes to pretend like he's above all the drama shit. But
Caleb,
like he literally like he'll scour the fucking internet like all day every day to find anything that's against his supposed enemies, and then he'll be commenting on videos that have like 10 views or some shit. Like
he fucking Caleb Maupin fucking. Didn't he comment on this video that we're gonna fucking basically burn our brain cells with?
yeah, he commented on it. He was just like laughing. It's like, yeah, so much for not enjoying getting involved in all the drama shit, Caleb.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of the stuff that B level currently does, he's learned from Caleb Maupin.
Oh yeah, I'm sure they've got like a whole fucking plan behind the scenes and shit. Like,
And there's no way these two aren't fucking regularly talking to each other. Come on, I'm not fucking dumb.
yeah, like Caleb will just have a couple of fucking little, like, hit a little bit, like little hitmen that are smaller channels to fucking go out and attack his enemies.
I hope this is the last time I address B level because there's just like I don't want to fucking talk about this guy. I really don't. I'm doing this as a favor for Corporal Cat and Comrade Net because they really want me to talk about this.
Yeah, see,
And
this is the thing. Like, I don't even know Comrade Net or Corporal Cat, but I just think that Be Liberals video is really stupid. And from what I do know about the situation and everything I've seen, it's like, yeah, it's pretty obvious that it's real, and it's pretty obvious that his excuse for it supposedly not being real is so pathetic that anybody with two brain cells rubbed together can see it.
now I'm gonna bring up hypocrisy regarding this, and this is not public knowledge, but you know what, B level, since you're gonna lie about like what you dox, basically revealing information about Net that he didn't want public to potential enemies, wasn't doxing. Didn't you in the past delete everything that had your full name because someone in the Star Wars fandom discovered your real name and you were scared shitless?
Yeah,
It's
that
like
is blatant hypocrisy.
it
And
clearly is.
yeah, but apparently that's not doxing, right? So what is
No,
it
it's
then? What is it? Be liberal.
well, let's just be honest. It's not doxing if you do it to someone that's part of the globalists or whatever anti-Semitic nonsense B level fucking believes. And I will say this: B level is an anti-Semite. He was like immediately suspicious of fucking Net. Like, why? Because he's Jewish. Like, he didn't do it to anybody else I interacted with in the past. But as soon as I started talking to a lumpen Jew, that he suddenly just his first instinct is to call Net a Fed. I'm not fucking joking when I say this. He did call him a Fed. And well, we have the line holder here. I'm pretty sure you have some interesting things to say.
Maybe. I mean, like this whole thing's kind of hilarious. Like,
Oh no, the
who-
British Maoist.
oh no, I'm not British. I'm a pan Celtic Angloid. I'm getting integrated into my
Yeah, but Be
lost
Liberal doesn't know the
cultural and
difference.
history of my family, and not just the Celtic history that's lost, but even a lot of the Anglo history of my family that's lost in time because of
Yeah.
I come from North English upbringing, so it's an interesting thing for people like B Liberal who doesn't know how the UK works. The North English did not have the same treatment as the Southern English. They actually the Southern English, which was dominated by Normans, and well, they dominate the whole continent. But I mean, like as a majoritative in culture and this, it was very dominant in the South, and most people were speaking French at one point. Or well, Norman. It, it gets complicated. I don't know the proper Latin language it was, but it was basically French. It was basically not French that they speak today, but French of the era. Uh, well, it'd be the Norman shit that they were speaking because the French basically got it from them. The French used to speak a German language. That's where you get like people. There's German areas quite close to in Germany, quite close to uh, Frankish territory in French, and they speak a very similar dialect to what the French would have spoke. They still spoke German, but they speak Latin, and they're speaking Latin in the south of England. Well, they were trying to genocide the language in the north of England. They saw Saxon words were what known as bastard words. That's where the predominative use of the word bastard is predominant. The words that are what we now call curse words or swear words. These were words that were banned because of them being a part of a culture that was seen as I don't know how you put it, like degenerate would be the word to use. Fucking, and so what ended up happening was Celtic words no go. Any Celtic word was gone, and there was some Saxon words that could be utilised, and you wouldn't be seen as scum. But the majority of them as well were gone. I mean, shice is a swear word just because it's the Anglo-Saxon word for shit. It's still reason why shit is a swear word, and they made it a so bit of history for you. And the
Um, before we get
what it
move on,
really
I want
comes
to
into
highlight.
is that what it comes into is I just want to get into this is that because I'm losing myself a bit tired. The uh what's going on is the in the north our cultural archetypes are very sort of awkward because we have always been rejected by the South as some horrible thing. And if it wasn't for the Hundred Years' War with France, the South would have not started adopting English like they did. Like they adopted English in the courts of the crown of the crown and the lords of the aristocracy because they what's it because they went to war against the French and they were seeing it as a bad image for the morale of the people that while the English speaking people are fighting the French, you guys caught speaking French, so they changed the language, and that's why the English language was then preferred and kept, and they stopped trying to destroy it. And you saw then them steal Middle English from the auctions and change it, and that happens all the time. They took what would be modern English from the auctions, and they changed that. So you get Queen's English in the south, you get proper English in the north. There's a lot of places it's starting to dwindle because of the aristocratization. You get people that want to cover up their Yorkshirean or Liverpudlian accents, or you get people in Wales, Cymru. Shouldn't really call it Wales, sorry. Cymru. I'm gonna cover. It took me ages to hide my Welsh accent. It's like you should be hiding it. You shouldn't be hiding your accent, man. They should be speaking it true as it is, but this is the way the system goes. But in the north, it's predominantly Angle, um, Scandinavian, and Celtic cultural influences that drive the culture of of those regions, of those counties. That's the word. County is what we call them. And then in the south, it's predominantly Norman, Saxon, and Frankish culture.
I would actually like to highlight these comments from Anarchy is Direct Communism because I just want to make them know I am not ignoring their comments. I just want to highlight them so their voices are heard. And if I have to be honest with
It's
you,
just like
I
it's
am
just like I had to get into that because it's quite interesting when you look at like this geezer's trying to come out of this with this British. Yeah, I know British person. Like I live in a country that is Britain, yeah, but I ain't British. I'm English, and I got Celtic heritage that I'm trying to rekindle with. So I follow Capan Celtism, and you know, a very very wise Celtic comrade, Lumpen Celt, helped me figure that I should not let my Anglo-Saxon heritage get in the way of the fact that I have Celtic heritage. I should rekindle with the fact that I have Celtic heritage. And my great granddad was proud Scottish diaspora. My great great grandfather was Irish. So you know,
Europe. Crap.
now. If I have to be honest here, I'd rather be addressing um, Black Shirts TV and Trav because I think they're like. Let's be honest here. Everyone here, we can all agree that B level is a fucking small fry. Like he's nothing. He's insignificantly nothing. Us continuously addressing him does nothing but give him attention. And I've said this 2 times already. This is a favor for Comrade Net and Corporal Cat because they wanted me to address this.
they deserve all the respect for it because at the end of the day, what Corporal Cat had to say was principled. Like I wouldn't even so the the gist of where this is going is this is complete and utter manipulation. Like if the guy speaks the guy's a fucking narcissist, but he doesn't really help himself get away with his narcissism because as he speaks, you can hear his shit-eating grin as he munches on Caleb Maupin's shit on the middle of his living room floor. There's a whole
Seriously.
fucking archetypical story going on between these two, man. Caleb shits on the floor and he is shitting and grin licks it up. But the fucking you can hear his shit-eating grin in the top of his fucking cheeks
Yeah,
and
every time
smacking
he
his eyes
talks,
out
I
as
hate
well.
it. I hate it. Yeah, I noticed it. That was the first thing I noticed too.
I can't believe I used to talk to this narcissist on a regular basis in
Dude,
2019 and most
you're
of
a guy who will
2020.
give if people give you the time of day, you will give them the respect because they seem like they're giving you the respect. That's not a shameful thing to have. Like, don't hit yourself for giving him the time of day. He lied to you that he cared and gave a shit about stuff. So you look past it. You're not a guy who's gonna say, "Oh, he has a tone of voice," because you're the kind of person who's gonna be like, "Oh, well, but he's saying this, so maybe it's respectful." And my tone of voice can sound really fucking annoying a lot of the time, and it does. It's really big problem when you've got thyroiditis. It really makes you throat impossible to use properly. But um, it don't matter at the end of the day. Respect, Logan, respect. Thanks for that. Um, I, what was I
Uh-uh.
saying? Sorry. Does
It's
anyone
Said
it,
nice
remember?
honestly,
avatar.
honestly, hearing
No, what
B
was I
level's voice
saying?
just makes me want to
I
fucking
got
puke.
distracted by that. Well, yeah, no.
Yeah.
So I was getting at. So at the end of the day, you know, um, it's easy to get caught up in someone telling you one thing or the other, and you know what? He probably didn't speak with a shitting grin tone to you because he was grooming you. Now he's trying to cause havoc.
You
So
know, I
unfortunately,
think he always talked this way, if I had to be honest with you, and I just didn't notice it.
these people are political groomers, and political groomers are always diddlers. Like, look at everyone who's had a fucking cult, man. They've always been fucking creepy, rapey geezers. Always something comes out about someone getting fucking sexually molested at least once. I guarantee you fucking Caleb's already been playing hide the sausage. But I can't prove that. I have no proof. He can sue me if he wants, but I said I don't know, so it's not really going to
Uh,
go anywhere. England
I
is
know,
very
yeah,
I
strict
know,
law on
I know.
defamation.
This stream after
But
I'm definitely not. I'm definitely gonna be no longer be on friendly terms of Trav and Black Shirts TV, but I don't give a fuck at this point. If these people are willing to be friendly with a guy that doxed someone that they met face to face, I have
and then
fucking
do
no
some
respect for them.
Hegelian equation of fucking Jason with a fascist. Caleb Maupin's a fascist. You don't equate a comrade to a fascist.
I would argue
To
that Trav
invite
is a
the
fascist
division.
too. Like
No,
my
it's
my
not so
lumpen.
simple as that. It's not so simple as that. The geezer's weird. I don't know. I can't tell you. The guy's a reactionary and he's a revisionist and he follows Brezhnevism, which is basically just Khrushchevism. So, like, you go with how you want to go with that, guys. Call yourself a Marxist Leninist all you want, but
Uh,
support Brezhnev and Khrushchev. Right, this is what I'm getting at. But, like,
we'll
I find
address
it funny
we will
that
we
I, fi-
we will we will address Trav another day. This is mainly be liberal.
I find it funny that in B Liberal's video he just randomly shows his DM to Jason as if that means anything. Like all it shows is that he was trying to manipulate Jason into like going in with him instead of like any other like Maoist person. Like
I got a
just
question.
noticed your name, for fuck's sake. It's
You
pretty
want to
yeah.
get this
funny.
show on the road? You want to get this cringe over with?
Sure, let's go.
Oh God, I don't know about you, but I don't think I'm ready for this cringe.
Put it on fast.
It's only 5 minutes.
Yeah.
The faster the better.
Yeah, we have to listen to his shit eating grin. Like,
Oh God, is this one of the shitty meme wars videos?
I
Oh
don't
well,
know.
I guess I'll just watch it for myself.
Which is what I always wanted for MRN to begin with. B level has done harm to all of us.
You have done that yourself.
Really?
Yeah, that's dumb.
Wait.
He sent that to me when I turned around and criticized him for kicking me out because I had gotten in an argument with one of his little pallies.
This is his memeing ability. This, are you fucking serious? He starts off with a meme.
the guy doesn't know how to structure a fucking decent argument. Like, this is what I mean. I really am a bit confused with how, like, MRN people on the streets. I don't mean to insult you all on the streets. I'm not trying to be offensive or anything. I got a lot of respect for what you're doing, but I'm really confused how you guys got on with Be Liberal, because I watched one video and the guy sounded like a fucking shit-eating liberal, like at best, if anything,
Yeah,
fascist.
yeah, for
Uh,
real.
I'm
It's the liberals that eat shit that love fascism the most, anyway. So
I'm not gonna. I know this is gonna sound biased, but I was the brains of Ewoks Unhinged. Like, good God!
it did get noticeably lower in quality since you've left. It's interesting.
Like
I mean, the
Ewoks
channel's not
I
Unhinged.
doing
mean, the
that good
only streams
either.
I
I
ever
mean,
watched after I saw that video would be yours, because it's the only thing I'd ever been sent to me by anyone. Because that's it.
You, you,
I got
I don't know.
introduced to who
I
you
don't know
were.
how
I
your channel manages to get more views than his, despite
uh,
you barely uploading anything really.
ironically, you know what's funny? The best videos on the channel that got the most views, mind you, B level won't allow them to become public anymore, because every time he has a falling out with anyone, he takes down the video.
I mean,
All
I'm the
of
type
them.
of person where, unlike the person turns out to be an open fascist, I'm not gonna just delete the content. Like, if it's saying a good thing and it's pushing a good line, I might keep it. To be honest, if they were like a really, really principled comrade, I might even still consider be like, this was them when they were really principled. I'll keep going. But the problem with these people, they're not principled people. Like, they're all committed to fucking whiteness. That's just the really big link that comes to all of these people, is that they're more bothered about defending America and its existence. Fuck
It's
me.
also
If anyone didn't realize that with Trav when he did that fucking 11 points thing, they're never gonna realize it.
it's also very interesting to go back to the content, like if they've changed their positions heavily, to like go back and see, like, what did they mean by this when we were when we were talking to them at that
Were
point,
they
like.
speaking from a different angle? Oh, yeah, having to make sure you reassess it and make sure there's no hidden curriculum in your content.
Yeah, like it's interesting. It's really interesting now, like going back through some of Caleb's old debates, against like Cultured Thug or Eric Stryker
Start
and
to
them.
see his
Like,
fascist tendencies. He was taking notes when Culture Thug was speaking.
yeah, he literally was.
And
For all
he
we
put
know,
quote unquote fascist in the title. Why did he do that?
for all we know, for all we know, he communicates with Cultured Thug on a regular basis. For all we know.
Even they might not even do it. So that I think Caleb is sort of Caleb didn't get the reaction he really wanted out of the other interaction, because he was like, "Oh, I'm gonna get," he did the worst thing he could ever do. He did a Freudian slip right at the start of the video, and not only did this give away to anyone who's not blinding themselves and making Caleb out to be the fucking god ginger cunt he is, but
the funny thing is
what's it? What I'm getting at, sorry, 1 second,
oh
is
yeah,
that
you're good.
instead, Cultured Thug basically got the jump on Caleb, because Caleb
Yeah.
turned around and said, "Oh yeah, I brought Cultured Thug on to prove that I'm not a fascist." Cultured Thug's like this rapid dentist and a big guy from out of China, and I said, for that. So
Anyway,
I'm gonna make this dentist look like a fascist, because I want him to, not only does he want him to join him if he's gonna, because I mean fascists love to increase their numbers, especially with a news guy, media guy. It's good rep to have. But also, I mean, like, I don't know, like, that he took it easy on Caleb, and this is where it gets to things. Has Cultured Thug ever worked for Infowars? Because Caleb Maupin has. People don't seem to know this. Caleb Maupin used to be an article writer for Infowars. For some reason why they've been deleted off the Infowars channel, but he used to be an article writer for Infowars about, what was
Yeah.
it, 5,
It-
6 years ago.
yeah.
I got a question for both of you, Noob and Stone. Have you ever seen sliced bread?
I do have a loaf of bread somewhere in my house.
Well, I mean the stream that put Ewoks Unhinged on the map.
You're on about,
Oh, no, I have
I
no
thought it was
idea
on
what
about
that is.
bread. I don't know.
Yeah.
I got sliced bread in the cupboard if you want some.
Okay, it
Okay.
was basically the first time me and B Level did a takedown of bread tube, and it was probably our best video on the subject.
More like burger tube.
And it was one of the highest viewed videos. In fact, that was the stream that put us on the map. And Jason promoted this stream, by the way. In fact, ironically, what B level is doing is basically biting the hand that feeds him, because without Jason Unruh, no one would know who B level is.
He's just
Without,
Caleb Marpin's dick wipe for fucking.
I mean, even Caleb. I mean, Caleb Maupin wouldn't even have bothered with Ewoks Unhinged if it weren't for, Jason to give Ewoks Unhinged attention.
Well, yeah, well, we've got to remember Jason was being politically groomed by Caleb. Sandflies.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb still doesn't give a shit about Ewoks and Hinge. He just only ever like promotes them or whatever, or engages with him whenever he's attacking Jason, or like some other type of Maoist or whatever. That's basically the only time he ever engages with the guy, which is funny too. I mean,
I talked to Caleb Caleb Maupin a few times. I didn't feel comfortable when I was in his presence. I always felt like he looked down on me when I
you get petty bourgeois rapey
one-on-one.
Christian vibes of Caleb. He's the kind of guy that you're like, yeah, no. Can you please keep your hand to yourself, mister? Like, what's it?
Oh, one of my
He
old
took everyone's
associates from
phones away,
my Star Wars days.
He took everyone's phones away at his little
Interesting.
camp. Like, how creepy was that? Like, what? So people can't take pictures where you fucking start fucking whipping your sausage out and doing weird, creepy shit like that. Because that's what ends up happening. It ends up turning into a game of find the sausage of Caleb Maupin. And what's it? It tells loyal people to him might end up just being like, oh yeah, no, well, I'm gonna do this and go along with it. I'm like, how much to say though? Because these cults shit are weird as fuck. Weird, creepy sex stuff going on with these cults. And don't put past fucking Mr. Maupin. Fucking, he's a Protestant as well. They're just as bad as everyone likes to stereotype Catholics for it. Don't think it's just a fucking Catholic thing or anything like that. It's a position of power thing. And he's a Protestant and he's petty bourgeois. He has a lot of power and he's being religious about it. So he's a dick shaft and he's a fascist. So petty bourgeois class consciousness consolidates around fascism. That's why he was waving his arms around Dukan, going on about, oh, fucking, what's it? He wants to be marching in the streets. So much as he doesn't want people, he doesn't want the Black Panthers to have guns. He agrees with disarming the Black Panthers, but he wants to be marching in the streets. What are you supporting, Caleb? Are you supporting militarism, which involves a rifle? You need it, or are you supporting disarmament? Because this seems a bit lopsided towards different people. It's kind of like how in Nazi Germany, people start like Hitler took guns from people, or he didn't take guns from everyone. He only took guns from people who were in poverty, lower classes, and from people who were Jewish, Polish, oppressed groups. If you were Slavic, if you were Jewish, if you were anything like that, Mongolian, anything African, if you're an oppressed group, you had weapons taken off of you instantly and possibly arrested, depending on what kind of weapons you got, and put in prison. But the white community could own whatever rifles they fucking wanted.
Yeah.
I actually think we should continue with this word vomit because I have no idea what I'm watching, and I'm already cringing.
It's just before you press play. It's just that one similar thing with him and Hitler. Him and Hitler had a really similar, disangled push on, who should have weapons. It's petty bourgeois class consciousness, and that's what these people are consolidating around. But go on, sorry, I'm a rambler.
Let's continue with this
rambling.
cringe.
Okay.
I'm calling it. We're gonna be doing this for 3 hours. I'm calling it
On a 5-minute video.
Whoa, come on, man! We did so good with the last video we watched. We did 3 minutes in 6 to 7 hours.
Let's just do this.
Hey everyone, so as it said, the truth.
Oh God! Oh, I can't stand his voice. Oh,
I'm closing my nose because his breath smells like shit.
Oh God!
Yeah, I'm leaning back on my recliner bed thing, my orthopedic bed. That's what it's called.
This is no. You know what? I can understand why the right wing is in the Star Wars fandom can't fucking stand listening to this. Like, oh God!
it sounds like fucking. I mean, Caleb is like this too. It's this push narcissism, and Ben Shapiro does it. It's the Shapiro, uh, the Shapiro one too. Are you a cuck? Do you want to sound like you want to try and sound like you're being tough about stuff while still sounding like a cuck? Well, take the Shapiro method. Where you sound like a pussy hole, but you're trying to big it up and
Oh
run away
God.
from debates when they get too hard because you tried to call the most right wing news presenter in the UK a fucking well in the mainstream. I mean, a fucking leftist. He's like a really hardcore conservative, and he's like, "Oh, you're one of those leftists." He's like, "You knew who I was. You'd find yourself to be a complete moron to be saying that, Mr. Shapiro."
Well,
Just
wait,
owns him. It's like I don't want to encourage some bourgeois cunt owning him, but it's so fucking funny. Like
critical support to Andrew Neil.
Andrew O'Neill slapped him. I hope both of them fucking go and have horrible fucking, they fall into poverty or something like that, just to put it the nice way. But um,
Anyway,
some drops don't have to drop like that. We can go for
well,
it.
we're gonna have to continue this because we're gonna be here forever if we don't just get this over with.
Yeah, let's
Yeah,
go.
Let's
sorry
try.
about that.
Let's try going 10 seconds. I'm
It
not
was
gonna
your
make any
fault that
promises.
time. It was your fault that time.
Yeah, you stopped it at 2 seconds.
I know, but it's hard listening to B level, the narcissism in his voice. Oh,
Oh no,
how did
man.
I
What?
stand talking to this guy ever? Jesus, I can't believe I actually fucking threw actual good fucking people that I was friends with under the bus for this guy. What the fuck was I thinking?
The question is, what was you smoking? Because I want to know. I'm interested. In the,
Jesus,
in the market.
the narcissist. Let's just continue.
Always
Got to be in the
can.
market like
And
China.
so
Proper
a year ago,
socialism,
what
right?
happened? Well, Jason Unruh in June claimed that 6 months earlier in January of 2021 that I had quote unquote doxed one of his comrades, right?
That's an objective fact, you fucking lying piece of shit. Broden fucking fucking is the whole reason we found out about this in the first place. You fucking lying motherfucker.
Spineless rats. Own up to the things you do and stand by them, you fucking coward. This is what I mean. Like, let's pull Culture Thug in for a second here because for all of the piece of shit Culture Thug is, do you know what I'll give him? At least he's fucking honest about what he is. These dickheads are dishonest, disingenuous little shits, and they'll constantly try and spin shit all the time. I mean, fascists are spin doctors themselves, but at least they tell you. There's people like Culture Thug tell you that, oh yeah, I'm a fascist, I support Mussolini. Yeah, they're gonna spin him to be this sort of socialist figure, and they're gonna tell you lies. I'm not telling you they're gonna tell you the truth about everything, but you know what you're dealing with. This is where they're constantly trying to spin doctor stuff to make them look like they're a Marxist Leninist or a Marxist or anything of that sort of thing when they're not. Dingism is not even a Marxist ideology.
It
It's
really
a
isn't.
bourgeois, petty bourgeois, sorry, a petty bourgeois consolidation to reinstate the bourgeois system, essentially. It's neo-feudal if you want to be really pedantic or semantic or whichever term you want to use. They kind of both technically apply. It's
And
really
this
really
is something that any real like Marx, even if you're a new Marxist and you're a principled one, like you could tell right away that something's wrong with Dangism. Like but even when I was a new Marxist and all I had read is like Wage Labor Capital and the Manifesto, I immediately knew like, wow, these like Dangist people, they call themselves Dangists, whatever. It's like it seems like they're just delusionally optimistic about, they want something to worship. They want to, so they just choose China, I guess, because it used to be socialist. I'm like, yeah, but I never did. I think that modern China was socialist. And every time you push these motherfuckers on it, that's the thing too. Is to show you just how unprincipled be liberal is. Because from what I heard, because I didn't watch Ewoks Unhinged when you were still there, Dark Snobia. So like from what I've heard though is that he used to not think it was that. He used to not think that China was socialist, but now he's on the Caleb Mop and shit, and he thinks it is. Like, hey, if you ever ask any dangoid, like what makes China socialist in their eyes, like they'll
you
either
give a
won't
different
answer
answer every
anything.
time.
Well,
Yeah, they
I-
either won't give an answer, they'll deflect something, they'll say like some stupid shit like A does not equal A or some crap. Like
I
I-
had
like
one
deflect
Dingus get
with
honest
that.
with me
Like
actually. I had one Dingus get honest with me, and he sat down, and for about like I think it was like 2 hours I sat. And I didn't say a word. I just listened to him go on and on and on because that's what he asked me to do. He asked me, "Okay, just sit, don't say anything. I will go for all of it." Not in respect. Like he was not someone who I'd respect from my positions as a Marxist, Leninist, Marxist, liberalist, but he was someone who was just trying to be, sort of pushing the fact that he knows a lot more about Dengism from the perspective of how China looks at Deng Xiaoping, Xi Jinping thought, because that's what it's actually called over there. And the what's it? Basically, he turned around towards the end of it to summarize, conclude. He's like, in China, socialism is not seen, and he's being way too pejorative by saying in China, but you know what he means. He's on about people who believe this Dengist Xi Jinping thought crap. Um, see socialism as a concept, a social concept, not a socioeconomic system.
yeah, it's also very telling if you when Xi
That's what
Jinping in
Hitler
his
said
book.
about socialism. That's what Tony Blair said about socialism. Sorry for cutting you off.
Yeah, like it's like it's pretty interesting when you read like traditional Marxist-Leninist texts versus what Xi Jinping talks about in his fucking governance of China bullshit, where he talks about the rejuvenation of the nation. Like,
At least it
one thing.
rhymes. He thought about the
Well,
rhyming.
yeah.
one thing one thing, like I would like to say though, I don't think it's likely. I don't think they're watching this, but Chris
Hello, if you are.
Broden, if you are watching this right now live, I'm willing to give you an invitation. The truth of what B level did to you. I'm willing to offer you that chance. If you are here right now, I'm giving you that option. It doesn't matter if we disagree with each other. It doesn't even matter if you hate my politics. I'm about principle. And B level fucked you over just like he did Net. And I think it's only right that you get a chance to expose the truth from your point of view. If you're hearing this, I'm offering you the opportunity. And if you don't want to do it
Shit.
live, then go in the comment section and just type whatever you want to type. Tell what really happened in whatever amount of detail possible. Hell, if you want to add to what I'm saying, do a response to this video and talk about what happened, because I think you deserve to be exonerated for all the shit that has happened. What B level did was an injustice, and I don't care, what our beliefs are. I'm about principle, and B level isn't about principle. You guys can see it.
Oh yeah, be liberal has.
Father made brick walls just for the right reason.
Is B level ever even talking about trans issues or I don't know.
No, because a lot of them avoid it rather than making a position because it gets them in shit. It's kind of interesting, like sort of. I mean, Jason used to follow that position a long time because he wasn't, he wasn't really intrigued by it, and as far as he's concerned, the one thing that they did get right about it was that gender should be abolished, but like
I mean,
you know, he kind of like eventually it's kind of interesting that Jason's videos of like actually talking into what the trans issues are and getting it horribly wrong until later dates. I know he's got better over the years, but I'm on about back when he started was after he got involved with Caleb.
like here's the thing, like even when I had just barely became like a Marxist, my position on the trans stuff has always been like, I don't care how they want to identify, and I don't see why anybody else would try to care about it anyway. Like, why does it bug them so much? like why are they being such a fucking snowflake about it? Like, just let people live how they fucking want to live.
I'm fucking non-binary myself.
Yeah.
Does
I
anyone want to
just struggle
continue?
to accept it. That's my problem. I struggle to accept it because I was brought up in a very hyper masculine household. It's had a very drastic effect on my sister. My sister's non-binary as well.
Does
But
anyone want to continue?
she can't talk about it. Yeah, go on. Sorry.
Does anyone want to
Yeah,
continue with this cringe?
well, I
Yeah,
mean,
go for
I'm warning everyone.
I don't want to, but I'm willing to.
I will not promise that I won't pause it within 2 or 3 seconds after B level speaks. I won't promise that.
If I had the power to, I might.
Let's continue. Unfortunately,
We're still doing well.
And
We're
what's
within the
sketchy
hour
is,
region, and
if
we're
that was
nearly at
true,
30
why did he
seconds.
wait 6 months to blast me for that instead of earlier?
I know we're
Anyway,
at 6
I
minutes,
think a
30
lot of this
seconds.
has
I
to
couldn't
do
read
with
it
the channel
properly.
making headway at the time. But the said doxing in question was a private group DM discussing public information of an individual in Jason.
public information that Net did not want to be discovered by fascists.
Yeah,
Now,
look, you're giving details that are not public to his position as a communist. They're public to his private fucking personal Facebook is public in the sense that it's public for people he commonly engages with. That's a private personal Facebook. That's not his fucking, like, let's say like a Discord server that I started up to do stuff like that where I'm engaging with people and it's a place to come and speak advertising that around. That's fine, yeah, sure. And it doesn't matter it's a private DM, like fucking Doxxed said right on. They were fucking fascists. Like you sharing shit around the fascists. That is
Broden
fighting
and,
fascists, you
Broden and
piece of
Chris
shit.
aren't fascists,
No,
but
but not them.
the people that, but because of B level's actions, like they didn't know any of what was going on. Chris and Broden, like they were just tools. In fact, for all we know, B level could have leaked this to other people that he knows.
He probably
probably
did.
got
Let's be
everywhere.
honest. Like, to be liberal, like, come on.
Like piece of shit. Like genuinely, like he's not just a shit eating, grinning, narcissistic little cunt. He truffles his mouth across the floor. Like he doesn't have any fucking any remorse, any empathic sort of regard towards the situation. He's just turned it around and he is chopping up the whole context of everything and he's not even speaking to what Jason's actuating in the video.
Yeah, for real. He's not. He's just like cherry picking little words here and there and trying to use fucking pedantry to fucking quote unquote exonerate himself.
Like I said this earlier,
And
B
wait,
level had
one second before you say this, I just saw some. What about waiting for the truth? What the fuck is that? You're supposed to search for it. You're supposed to be a fucking dialectical materialist. We go searching for the truth wherever it takes us. But wait, I think about how many Marxist leaders went all over the place. Like fucking, we're we gotta find the truth. You don't fight for the truth. That's so petty bourgeois. Oh my god.
well,
Sorry for cutting you off,
well,
Xenobia, but there's just such the most petty bourgeois white shit anyone could ever say, waiting for the truth. I'm so sorry.
what I was basically saying is I've said this point earlier, but I'll repeat it again. B level had his full name that was public at one point, and a member of the fandom menace discovered it, and it scared B level shitless.
Oh, could we have that, please?
I don't know his full name. Do you think I would not have leaked it already if I did?
I'm not about you. I'm saying, like, what's it? The fandom menace, like, they're listening, like,
And by the way,
if he thinks Doxing all right and his name's already public, well, it's public.
yeah.
Present to you. Like, what the fuck
Oh,
are you
yeah.
talking about, man? And I'm only saying this to make an example, just for the case of fucking. I ain't one for doxing people. It's not the way people go. But at the end of the day, you've marked yourself. You deserve to be.
Well,
You put a comrade who's in war against Nazis that are working with the fucking feds that are engaging in sex trafficking. You are playing a dangerous fucking game for his life on the line. That is something that you cannot be unaware of. No one is that fucking like wide-eyed and stupid. No one. I find that a ridiculous assessment of human people to say that people are that wide-eyed. No, people know if you go and leak a personal guy's account that shows his fucking kids. Yeah, you are fucking putting people in danger. You're putting more than just them in danger. You're putting fucking kids in danger. You disgusting rat.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, when you start on people's family down there in the lumpen, that is easy, quick business to get yourself stabbed. I'm not threatening you. I'm just telling you how it would happen down there. If I was to start like threatening someone's mother's life
Wait,
or their
hold on.
livelihood in a fight against fascism, something like that, or any issue
Wait,
like that, I
wait,
would end up getting myself done. I would be done in. I would be screwed over.
Like,
I think this is Be Liberal's real name. Possibly.
Brian McClure with his Republic name on Instagram for 2 years. Oh, respect lyric error if that actually is the case.
I don't
I don't know whether it is.
I don't care if it's Be Liberal's real name. You've probably done us all a service. And B Level, I know you're watching this. If this is your real name, you've poked the bear too much.
No, you poked the Wookiee too much.
Yes, you shouldn't have fucked with me. Because there's
No,
people
don't
that hate
fuck
my
with the
guts
Wookiee.
that hate you too. And if
That
they
should be that, Joe. That's a very black, proper, black red guard, like hardline Maoist, like slogan. You should have that as your slogan. Don't fuck with the Wookiee.
I don't fucking give a shit if it's my enemy that gave me this name. I don't care what you Be Liberal is a fucking narcissistic sociopath, and I don't give a shit if it's my ideological enemy. I want Be Liberal to fucking pay for what he did to Net. It's one thing to fuck with me. That's just me, one individual. But
yeah, he's a
fucking
brother,
kids.
man. Like he's a fucking brother. He shows all the love in the world to us, puts all the time in the world to engaging with us and going about, and he does more than he ever needs to have to. And I love every chance I ever get to have a fucking phone call conversation with him because there's not a lot of people that you just come across easy that can speak. Like he knows the street, he knows his things, regardless of what lumpen aristocracy he'll tell you himself that he has. And knows the streets so damn well. And he's a wise man and you learn a hell of a lot, and he doesn't respect his wiseness. He knows he's wise, but he doesn't respect it. He got it the wrong end and had to learn a lot over the years and get himself into order and get himself into shape. And Corporal Cat's someone who's been a big help for that. Corporal Cat is a absolute legend. Like, it's a year younger than Falcone and already spitting beats just as bloody hard. Like, I mean,
Oh,
I've had
you know,
this
there's
conversation. I remember having a conversation with Corporal Cat when I was speaking with Nat and going on about all sorts of interesting things about history and all that. And it's the youth as well that terrify these people. Caleb, Caleb, all these people that terrify the youth because there's a lot of people. I've noticed that there's a lot of neurodivergent people in the petty bourgeois and the labor aristocracy that just reject like a lot of the principles that are tried to push on them when they grow up, and they basically start becoming really alienated from the alienated culture of the labor aristocracy. They're in a weird like it's like I call it like the double entendre of alienation. Like they're double buggered in that regard a bit, but it causes them to sort of reach out and start to think to more radical positions. That's why there's so many of them that support Black Red Guard. That's why you see a lot of them. They support people like Black Red Guard because he's the person that gives them passion and fury that they can push somewhere, and it's grand. That's where you get people like Falcon because they pushed around and beaten down, and B-levels never had to go for that. A lovely little upbringing by the scenes things because Falcone is treated like a dickhead. Falcone is constantly spoken of in transphobic and homophobic mannerisms by a father, constantly, and neglected and pushed aside and treated like a ghost essence. Like, I just got bitten by a sandfly. And Caleb's got no respect for this. And so's Caleb, and so's all of them. When Caleb split off from Memoran, he was bitching about Falcon and his splits. That's why he's going on about teenage Maoism. The piece of shit.
well,
They
the
got
teenage
Maoism. Oh my
by
God.
the way, the you're not Mao, you're not a student of Mao, you're 14. That meme is because it was because of Falcone.
They're all pieces of shit. Like,
Yes, that's what that meme comes
both
from.
Being liberal and Conor Gillis tried to groom Falcone, and Conor Gillis has a history of molesting people. So how do you think that was going to go? And people who are sexual predators, they target people who have struggles. That's why you see a lot of petty bourgeois people and labor aristocrat people, because a lot of rape and pedophilia is not just like all this shit where everyone's trying to look for, oh, what is the source mental health cause? Oh, man, there's people that can cause it for mental health, but that's not the primary drive. The primary drive for this is power play. And a lot of these people, and they're going to be mentally ill because they're alienated. That's just the way that it is. Every bourgeois is mentally ill. Every petty bourgeois is mentally ill. But in a way where they still got actuation of the mind and still operate, and it's alienation. It's a different kind of illness. But nonetheless, these people are what was
Oh
I getting
god.
up for? Sorry, I was at something really good then. I'll tell you, sorry, the petty bourgeoisie, they it's a power play thing, it's about power. Most forms of rape and pedophilia is not this like searching for this mental illness cause thing. No, it's a power play thing. It's rich people molesting poor people. That's what the whole sex trafficking business is centered around. Actually, do you know what? The fucking Midnight Productions or whatever the fuck they're changing their fucking name to, because I've heard they changed their name. Um, they fucking do trans murder porn. Have any of you heard of trans murder? Oh, no, Dark Nova. Have you ever heard of trans murder porn? Actually,
Oh God, the idea of it is disturbing. I don't even want to think about it.
Yeah, it's gross.
they
I
they
mean,
would they would they would molest people and shoot them on camera. Sometimes not even molest them; they just get shot. It's people buy that. People buy that shit.
yeah, I mean, I haven't heard of it personally, but even without hearing it, I still know it exists because people are fucking disgusting, and commodity production is disgusting in general. So
Given that this Midnight Productions is from Arizona, you know Arizona's mentality and is about trans people, especially given that the police are heavily involved in this. So
yeah, Jesus.
it all wraps around. Like what's it? It's madness. The anarchists have been a really really big help to protecting these trans people. If it wasn't for them, I don't think. There'd be other groups that form, but if it wasn't for groups like that, they won't survive. And the anarchists are the ones that have done it, and they're going for a hard time. They're really going for a really hard time, and they're struggling to keep themselves together. But my
My,
message out to my anarchist comrades on the street out there is they got to stay as strong as they can, and with their heart right, in the struggle, you've got it right, and you've brought so many people under your wing, and you'll keep doing that. And the lumpen always knows. The lumpen knows about the massacres. The lumpen knows about what the Nazis have been doing to you. The lumpen knows about the police storming your squatting housing, and they'll do what they can to support you. If we can do what we can to get the system going right, of dual power, where we push things forward and support them and get them into the struggle. You guys have done such a great job now, and you'll always keep doing a great job. Our lives are sport to cops are dying against our will. Entertainment, it is, but it will be your adulation that will terrify them. That's why they do it. They do it because they're terrified. Otherwise they wouldn't bother with you. They're terrified.
Yeah, but dual power is ultra left now, don't you know? Like,
you
we
know,
need.
Lenin's version
later.
of dual power is more fucking like if you want to be like, how they think ultra left is being more left. But Lenin's dual
Yeah,
power
it's
is
so
more
dumb.
hardcore. Like, let's get quick on with the revolution than the Pantherite form of dual power, which
Yeah,
is more understanding of like, okay, in the first world, it's going to be a bit different. We can't use Lenin's form of dual power because we need to attain to the lumpen proletariat, organize them, organize us.
yeah. I've unironically
And
heard like
when
first
we
world.
organize us and we get the free programs going on, and we get all the struggle things going on, and because lumpen people with Marxist literature are stronger than the labor aristocrats with it, we get the things going forward, we get the proletariat back
Absolutely.
into it. Sorry, but I cut you up.
Yeah,
Well,
like
well,
I was just saying, like I've unironically heard like first world MLs like talk about, oh, we can't do like dual power or anything like that. We can't have track people's war or anything like that. It's like, oh, that's ultra left stuff. Like we're gonna people are gonna be afraid of us and all this stuff. It's like, what the fuck are you on about, bro? like
oh,
Lenin literally wrote about dual power. Like, come on, people.
well, it's so ridiculous. And you know what? I do have another bombshell I want to drop on B level, but I want to save that way later because B level is such a fucked up individual that the more I think about it, the more the more I feel like meeting Net was an act of God, because Net pulled me out of that fucking toxic relationship. It's like, holy shit, he's so much worse than I remember.
It's realization. It hits you like a brick. It's fucking like what's it? It's like when I look at my political history, like
What
Jesus
makes this even
Christ,
more
messy
fucked
thing.
up
Oh, hello,
is the state of
Oh,
Star Wars
hey.
guys that I worked with. They saw this sooner than I did. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, sometimes you need that third set of eyes, like from outside.
The thing is, I had a
outside
falling
looking
out
in.
with them because of B level, but that's not a discussion that I want to rehash.
I
'cause
mean, but this
it's
is the
not
thing that I
important.
will conclude on that. That's what people who are like narcissistic abusers do this to people. They'll gaslight you, make you question your own sanity on how you're putting yourself, or you're principling yourself, who's got the right position on what, where to place yourself, and they'll disconnect you from anyone who can push a different position.
Oh, and by the way,
I
tell your
think.
story of what happened with your
I'll
experience.
confirm. Sorry, I get typo. Sorry.
Explain your experience, what B level did to you. Because I think
I mean, if you want to
the
come on,
audience
you
needs
can
to know.
speak,
If you want to come on, regardless if we agree
We
with
have
each
a
other or not,
Discord, so we can message you the link.
it's important that we discuss this.
Yeah.
Because I'm about anyone who's been wronged by B level to be able to give their own fucking stories, to come out, because this cannot. If I'm going to address B level and not touch him again, I want to at least do something that's essential. So there'll be no reason to do this, because as long as we continue to address B level, he's going to continue to do these kind of videos, and nothing is worse for this narcissist than for them to be ignored.
Yeah, B level and B level Angulish tried to groom you, clone. B level was trying to do it all. I think Gillis was on the same angle, but it was about like trying to get you away from Maoism all the time, and it's like the fuck, like
Yeah,
what's
Dark
this all
Snowy,
about?
didn't you say the same thing that like it was when you started to like talk about Maoism and third worldism in general that like be liberal was like I don't know like ostracizing you or like saying like oh you need to stop that or whatever like being more hostile towards you and shit.
Actually, that's not what started it. What started it is when I was pushing revolutionary pan-Europeanism. I wasn't even aware that I was doing it.
Yeah, like anti-Americanism essentially.
But
Put it in the reverse.
anti-Americanism has always defined my politics, though. So how the fuck can you not notice that? Despite talking to me for like almost 3 years, you don't know my anti-American politics?
Oh, hello.
Wait, he had a problem
Hello,
with
Shannon.
anti-Americanism? That's super sus.
I think he didn't have a problem with it before. It was when Caleb came into the picture.
Yeah.
B level is an opportunist. Remember that. B level, like he switched his fucking politics fucking on the fly. B level was not even a communist when I first met him. He fucking and I'm not even joking. When there was an anti-communist that was saying something in a comment section about Stalin and Mao, B level was fucking saying like, "Oh, Marx didn't do that. That was Mao and Stalin." And I confronted him about it. It's like, you shouldn't be saying this crap if you haven't read Marxism. What are you doing? And he switched his tone immediately.
Oh god.
It wasn't much of a struggle session.
You as well, and direct democracy, communism.
It's like, if you want Falcone, you can come on.
Yeah, come on, beat the war drum, sister.
I mean, you're a victim of B level's fucking manipulation. And as soon as you come on, I think I want to continue with this commentary.
I already have the link ready copied, so if I
To be honest,
where are you on my list?
This
I go on
discussion
Skype. It's easier to find. I'll just put
is
it in.
more engaging than engaging with what we're fucking watching.
How far have you gotten in so far?
We're not even a minute in. Like, because every 5 to 10 seconds, he just says some bullshit.
Yeah, it's completely substanceless anyway. It's just crap.
I mean, I got something funny for you though. Like, for the people watching. Like, so I had a fucked sink and it's been blocked up and all that. And basically, it's where I've had the problem with sand flies. So like, if you see me like wafting about and messing with my ears and my nose, it's because they're they're 1 millimeter big. These flies are, they're little bastards. And so I had to run my sink, but I wanted to cover it. I tried to cover the thing around with like cling film so it wouldn't spray everywhere. So I got the tap more powerful to push more water through to try and fuck off the blocked up sink because it was basically derelict for 2 years during the coronavirus. Because my pipe broke and the tap broke, and so like it was just in a derelict state for 2 years because I didn't contact people. Let me finish this just because what's it and so I have to run the thing now since I've had the tap fixed, and I'm gonna have to sink replaced apparently at some point. And I put the cling film around it. What the cling film did is block the sink up instead of sitting around it properly because it'll eventually droop down because some water got on it and weighed it down. And so like the sink filled up without me knowing because I was chatting with these lot in the Discord, and it was only a few minutes, and now there's water everywhere in my kitchen floor. I haven't got enough things to like dry it because it's like thick water. Like when I put like some polystyrene stuff down on it because I've run out of cardboard easy to access. The polystyrene floated, like there was floating polystyrene. You could probably push a boat from my house. So that's a funny little thing. I managed to flood me out being a dickhead. But then that's always how I managed to fuck up. Welcome, Falcon. To
the thing is, I don't know how long Falcon
guys
has,
hear me?
so let's let her have her.
Welcome to the tangent zone, Falcon.
Okay, can you guys hear me? That's the first thing I'm gonna say.
No,
Yeah.
you're loud and
Yes.
clear. No distortions or anything. This is probably the clearest you've ever been on stream, yeah.
I just fucking meal, great.
Well,
Also, it's like
we don't know how long.
for me.
Okay, Falcon, say your point and say it well because I don't know how long you have, and I don't want I want to take advantage of all the time you have here.
I have all the time in the whole night, really, because it's summertime
excellent.
for me.
Gucci things.
Excellent.
So when I was first watching this fucking video, he was claiming that Jason exonerated him by saying that some bullshit like that it was all public information. He was saying this shit in my DMs too, that he said, "Oh, I didn't really dox Net because it was public information, guys. Like, you know that, right?" And he manipulated me to think that shit, and he did that with like Auto Bolshevik too, as well. But I think Auto Bolshevik is still literally a bootlicker for fucking B level and all that shit. And
well, let's not give him the respect to call him by his name. We're calling him B liberal while we're here.
B liberal will do that shit.
It is B level media or whatever the fuck.
You wanna know what
B levels are like something you do in school. So like is he like the big teacher? Because he doesn't seem very educational. Most of the time I just hear him eating Caleb shit while he speaks a lot of spite.
B liberal is the guy in school that has no bitches. That's what he is.
There's a lot of law surrounding like the pat socks and them all lapping at the floor of Caleb mopping shit. Like they all like to just
they're
like,
all infighting at this point, not gonna lie.
Caleb eats his own shit as well. Like you can tell he eats his own shit. You can smell it on his breath through the fucking screen whenever I've watched it.
You know what I've been noticing?
Brain rot because of Caleb mopping.
You know what I've been noticing on Twitter is that basically the Pat Sox and basically the CPI crowd and the Pan Americans, who are also Pat Sox, are infighting with each other, and basically the celeb Pat Sox are also infighting with the Pan Americans and the regular CPI Pat Sox at this fucking point. So it's literally 4 factions fighting against each other in the same group. It is hilarious, and I'm loving it. And I think this is the time we should basically strike back against them, and we're doing it now.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's the Pat. It's.
I'd like to say one last thing. You want to know what Mad Max called B level in one of his streams?
What? A pussy?
D level.
Oh god.
D level add friend. See,
He'd probably call
I have
himself.
so many friends. I know how. I don't even know how to add friends. I don't have many friends.
He'd probably
love
call himself Z level at this point because he's probably he's a shill for Russia and shit.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, I sent you a friend
Should we-
request, my
Okay,
guy.
guys, I got a challenge. I got a bet.
No.
How long do you think when we continue this, it's gonna take before I have to pause this again?
There you go.
Not even 10
Uh-oh.
seconds. And y'all
Oh.
owe me literally $20 for this.
I don't. Well, okay. Let's see. Let's see.
Transfer that in my Patreon.
Let's go. If we could go 20 seconds without
Send you
pausing
a
it,
friend request, my guy.
it'll be a miracle. But I doubt that. Let's do
let's go.
this.
It's true.
I'll mute my.
Now, the definition of doxing is sharing private information publicly, not public information privately.
Stop,
That is
stop.
so
Later, we
stupid.
name
Stop it.
What
Stop
the
it.
fuck? Do we have to address the same thing for a third time?
Oh.
Jesus.
Also, all of y'all owe me like $20. So yeah. Literally, he doesn't even know the definition of doxing. Do I have to pull it up? I will pull it up at this point.
Pull it up.
Doxing.
Lyric,
no.
carry up. My name on Discord is the Stone Soviet. There you go. You found me. It's no worries.
Okay.
Okay.
So the verb. So doxing, the verb. To search and publish private or identifying information about a particular individual on the internet, typically with malicious intent. Hackers, online vigilantes routinely dox both public and private figures. Net is a private fucking figure and a private person who you particularly dox and basically publish identifying information about Net, which was his face and his kids' faces. So, by definition, on the Oxford Dictionary, you were doxing people. You were doxing Net and his kid.
I don't own an Oxford Dictionary. I can't tell you that that's the case.
Well,
I
don't
Google
care
it, but that's
I don't care if it
cheating.
was. I don't care if it was public. The very fact that his actions endangered his kids in the fucking first place is fucking morally
Yeah.
reprehensible.
It doesn't
No,
even matter.
even
Even if
if
it
it's
wasn't, even if it
public
wasn't
information.
doxing, it's still fucking shitty. Like, get you hold of yourself, you narcissistic dick wipe. Like,
It is, but like, here's the thing too. It's like even if it is public information, you sharing it with this person's political enemies, that's literally done with ill
I mean,
intent. Like,
all information on the
That's-
internet can technically be said as public information, but obviously a lot of it's private. When people make social media accounts on Facebook, they're not making it to meet everyone. They're making it to engage with their public friends, in who they're engaging with within their life.
yeah, like
People-
there's a reason Be Liberal like freaked out when he got found out, like his real life information. Like, there's a reason why, and he knows it.
I mean, once
Oh.
Lyric Terror is setting up their thing, and they're gonna be on, and they're gonna spit their bars. But go on, fuck on.
We also got evidence of B-Level trying to B-Level doxing Net as well. Broden leaked that evidence out there.
Yeah,
Of
Logan is
him
running
doxing
like,
Net.
no matter what you want to say, I don't really care for these communists. But what you could say about the communists, this is me quoting his video, not verbatim. I'm terrible at that, but he's like, at least you could say about these communists is they're principled and they stand for what they believe. Be liberal, you stand for nothing. You did
Yeah,
dox them,
like
you did call them,
B-Level-
you did betray them, like it. But Broden, when he really figured out what was going on, he was shocked. He was astonished. He was ashamed. Like, as anyone, like, as much as I don't like the guy's politics, that I gotta give you respect for that. Like, that's principle to understand that was a bad thing to fucking do. Fair play to you. I'll give you respect in that regard. Don't know
Justice
anything
for
enough about
Broden
him when you're
and
respecting him.
bipolar Chris and Mac, and I
Yeah.
mean that.
Yeah.
Justice for bipolar Chris, Broden, and Mac.
It's not so
Yeah.
much just whether it's about justice or not. It's just about the fact that they need to be able to, not be locked into
Oh.
these positions where things like this. Because you know what pushes these people further right is when people like want to they want to just pour gasoline on everything with everything they get. But you're in a close contact with these people and holding reactionary positions, and then you push them over because
Oh,
it's your principle. They're never going to get away from it. What they're going to do is they will get away. I'm not trying to be absolutist, but what I'm saying is that they'll just solidify and consolidate on those reactionary principles, and they'll always think things that are related to these communists is going to end up being dodgy. Like the fact that there's at least some fair income sort of soft-handed respect from world, and that I give them all respect for that. In the sense of fair play, but principle. You're standing up for this fact that we shouldn't dox people. It's wrong business. It gets people
oh.
killed. Fair enough.
Also, B level is. Oh wait, B liberal is kind of one of the reasons why I even chose to retire from YouTube in the first place. He's one of the reasons why I basically am off the internet. Because ever since I
Shouldn't let them
exposed
push you out.
B liberal, no, here's why. Ever since I exposed B liberal, what's been happening is basically I've been just like getting backlash after backlash and attack after attack and after attack where I basically just burnt out entirely.
It is
And
a
then when
principle of the
basic,
proletariat that you've got to hold on to in these situations, and it's perseverance. You'll always be able to
yeah,
persevere in when things get tough. And to be honest, if it gets to the worst, you don't need to have comments activated. But at the end of the day, people are gonna push their bullshit. They're trying to push all sorts of crazy shit about me, denying my own
and
class status and messing around with me, doing fucking all sorts of twisted shit,
and
calling me fucking British when I'm following my English and pan Celtic history to culture myself away from
the
Britishness. I
other
don't respect the union. I don't
the
respect the
other
British.
thing
It's an
too,
insult to be referred to them. I don't want to. I don't want any regard to them. The British is disgusting. I have a responsibility as someone who's lived within the society, and even if in the lumpen proletariat, the fact that there's a social sort of what's it benefit system that exists is because of empire. So I need to get into that, but
yeah.
it's this
Also,
sort of it's perseverance. It's a proletariat. It's what I went through when I was in homeless. You got to constantly push through rock bottom. Um, but I understand where it's coming from. Like these people pushed you away, they terrorized you, and that's a real thing. I'm not trying to undermine that. That's a real thing. Horrible shit. But the best
yeah.
thing, what's
And
the thing
also
that really
then
gets
like
it?
B
What's the thing
level,
that really gets at abusers, Falcon? Is when you rise above them and the truth gets out and you push forward because they can't stand that. They can't stand
yeah.
someone being able to stand on their own 2 feet, be strong, and not be affected by that, and not be able to be drawn back or thrown down or pushed away. That's what abusers are like. Is abusers like to have people under their control. They're groomers.
I'm speaking from experience. What Stone's saying is absolutely spot on.
Mhm.
Sorry to
But
cut you off as well when you offer for your thing,
but
Falcon.
anyway,
I didn't want to be too hard on the perseverance thing either. I'm not trying to undermine what you're going for. I really
what
want to undermine.
I
Yeah.
what happened to you, Falcon, was
Get
really
that.
fucked up. Like
Fuck
the
off,
amount of memes.
transphobic shit. Fucking also, it wasn't just pushback. Like Falcon's being nice about this, really. Like saying pushback, but it was abuse. Like the outright fighting thing from
Yeah.
abuse.
And
The
mind you,
thing. Oh,
B level after I stood up to the scoundrels cantina. By the way, that's the whole reason why a lot of like many people in the LGBTQ community respect me, because I was one of the only
Yeah.
people to stand up for them when no one else was willing to.
what?
And B level didn't do anything until after I
Yeah.
got attacked
These
massively
people.
by Nazis. Fucking, and I'm not even joking. The literal
Yeah.
fucking Nazis fucking harassed me nonstop. And B level fucking, what do you do? Like a video after I suffered the brunt of the attack. Like, and not to mention right now, I doubt he even has the fucking videos on his his what was formerly his
Yeah.
main channel anymore.
He deleted a bunch of those videos actually. He
And
deleted a
not to
bunch of videos of us. He deleted like a old collab that we did with a Ramiro I did with him and Ramiro. Also, he deleted almost every single video you were a part of on the channel.
I mean,
Also, the other thing I would also like to mention here too is then like when I finally broke silence and pushed back against Gillis, um basically when I started pushing back against her, B level basically started immediately giving solidarity to her, and what happened was when I pushed back, we found out this crazy information that she was actually a sexual predator and that she was accused of sexual assault.
I mean,
And literally, B level is basically supportive of of abusers, and this is the second stage of me also. This is also the second reason too, because of basically the threats that Gil's. Wait,
yeah. I mean, in the way that she tried to tear Amara up because I criticized her on China, and then she told me, "Oh,
yeah,
I brought up
she,
history about China's colonial past and other interesting little factoids that I'm not an expert on China and I've never claimed to be, but I said some stuff that basically put her in a position where she couldn't actually argue anything. So she turned around and was like, "Oh, you know, I was like, what your primary sources? Okay, I want to know what these sources are. Can I see these sources? Oh no, you need to get smart. You're too stupid to know these sources." And I kept getting that.
yeah.
After a while, I was just like,
Oh my
"Fuck
She,
god.
you! I'm calling you a cunt. You're
she,
gonna turn around to me and you're gonna fucking keep snaking me about."
um,
Calling me a moron,
wait,
calling me an idiot, calling me a piece of shit. I'm gonna call you a cunt.
Stone,
I don't give a fuck.
Stone. I wasn't able to finish my point.
Sorry.
Where she even tried like threatening to contact my parents and stuff like that, and try to hold that over me, over my head, like as if that was gonna work. Because here's the thing.
I remember that.
Now looking back on it, it's whose word against whose when it comes to my parents, because my parents are more likely going to believe me than they are going to believe some stranger on the internet.
Some stranger that the first thing that's gonna find out as soon as they turn around to you is like, oh yeah, that stranger's a fucking sexual creep that's fucking
Yeah.
molested people. Like,
Alright.
like
Yeah.
that's it. That's not gonna be
Oh,
a,
and scammed an Africa and
vulnerability threat.
scammed someone from Africa as well.
Oh
Also,
yeah, robbed their fucking money while they were struggling for food. So the thing is with Africa, a lot of countries in Africa, most of the third world in general, actually, yeah, you can't send PayPal over there. They refuse to. You can
yeah,
PayPal to anyone in Europe, but I can't send PayPal over to people in like Africa. And it's not like there's reasoning and you can get past some stuff. No, you can't send stuff to people in Africa for PayPal. So like you can't, it's because you can't help them with the styling because $1
yeah,
in a lot of countries in Africa can go a long way because it's $1 to us, or what's it to them in their currency because of inflation. And then you've got like,
yeah.
I mean, I don't mean just send $1. I'm saying $1 does a lot. You middle class fuckers that
One
only send a
US
dollar.
dollar.
You should be sending more than fucking $1, people. But the fuck charity, you do proper aid. Proper aid is what we do. But the situation, Connor Gillis came in and was like, okay, well, I'll help pass it on because there is a way you can get money to people in Africa. It's just complicated. And she goes to be sort of like, um, you know, uh, she goes to basically acquire the
Also,
money. She gets the money and she spends it all likely on fucking drugs or food or some sort of crap. I don't fucking know. I don't know what Connor Gillis
um,
does. But normally when people rob people, they spend it on
so
drugs and food. That's my
So also the other thing too is that basically we
or
even had the
phones and
financial
stuff.
records of it too, and she tried to refute that with records that even disprove her own point as well. And the other thing too is also I would also like to get continue on with the video and let's try to get like at least through like even half the video
Well, there's one thing
because
to add on the
my
end of it.
mom
One thing to add on the end of it, Falcon, and
um
what's it? You caught suspicion to this too. The fact that she was faking to be lumpen, living with her fucking petty bourgeois middle class parents. I mean, how else do you get an education, university degree, required education to go move over to China to do teaching work? You have to have fucking something going behind you. You have to come from some form of affluence. And those parents ain't gonna let you go homeless when you were sent back from China or moved back from China. I don't know when they got up, but
um
that's
also I would like to continue the video because I have to go because my stepmom just came in and told me that I have to go to bed early and wake up early as well. So let's hurry
You've
up
been
with the
too
video.
noisy and got yourself in trouble.
No, because we got something to do. I heard, but
I
so just
see.
like for you guys to
Plans have changed.
speed up the
That's
process.
annoying because now you've got a day you're not prepared for. Good luck with that day, or because those days you're not prepared for normally go the worst. Oy.
All right, let's continue with
Let's
the
just
video.
watch the whole video without commenting.
Let's
As I
try.
was critiquing
You will
MRM,
try.
something I would
You will try.
end up doing publicly.
I can do Star Wars
anyway,
references too.
but
Shit level.
Jason packaged this as me doxing. Now, set public information at the time. 6 months later, they then deleted off the internet. So it was really my word against theirs for was that ever public information. But here we have it that Jason Unruh admits all the information in our kitchen was public. And that the private chat, by the way, was leaked by somebody else, not even me anyway, but it was public information. So knowing that, Jason publicly lied about me, quote unquote, doxing someone, and he admits it here. Now he just reframes and saying,
mother.
"Well, it's still bad because B-level doesn't like my friend." Sorry, buddy, that's not
Slimy
doxing. That's not the
fucking
truth, and the truth
shit
always gets said. So
liberal.
thank you, comrades, for sticking by me. Those who were in doubt, hopefully this.
Thank you for sticking by me. I'm glad I could get somewhat half the views of Darts and Ovia. I have a more rapid
Continue. Because we're getting to the best part. Continue.
Everything's straight. That's what's up. And you can hear it from the man himself. And I'll contrast his words
From the man himself.
with my own statements in June at the time when he went after me last year. And you can compare and see what's up. I'll link the full statement in the description just for people to get the full story. But the truth is out.
But
Continue.
But if someone's speaking, I can't hear them.
No, that was Jason. That was Jason's audio.
I mean, if Snovi's paused it to speak, he's not audible. Did you just connect your mic?
Sorry. Okay, sorry. I'm actually gonna play a line from a Star Wars movie that people do not like, but I think it's appropriate.
Is it gonna be this Christmas special?
Where is it?
See, sometimes that can be funny. It's
I'm sorry, I have to play it because it is, as much as I hate The Last Jedi, you cannot deny that it doesn't have some fun. It doesn't have some good freaking memeing material.
It has the one-liners of the prequels, but done kind of shitly, and then it has it has nothing else really that feels very Star Warsy, other than the end bit almost felt Star Warsy until you realize that Luke's a fucking can't call it a hologram. It's like a forceogram. He's a forceogram and died of constipation.
No, you guys know what. You guys will know this line immediately.
This is not going to go the way you think.
Yeah.
I couldn't hear it. It was very quiet. What was that?
He said this is not the way you go. You think it will go.
God damn fucking.
This ain't gonna go the way you'll think it'll go. I get it.
Hold on. I'm doing this right. I don't care. I'm doing this right.
Do it live. Do it live.
I don't care. I don't care. I mean, the people who give a shit about, you screwed up, Darth Sinovia. Okay, no, this is petty bourgeois nonsense. Most people are not going to give a shit that I screwed up. No, because I don't care. This line I think is very fitting for the situation. I think we should. I'm going to play this. I know a lot of you hate this movie, but I think it's great. This line.
I think the movie's great. It's a snapshot.
And now we're about to get probably to the juiciest part of this fucking thing. Because do I have a feeling this part is gonna completely destroy B-Level's own video?
Yeah, I would agree with everyone that the Last Jedi is like the only sequel film that's actually made like a fucking film and not just a load of slapped together trash. Like it actually has a through line. It's crap still compared to any other Star Wars film in existence, other than maybe the Christmas special. But it it's only the only problem really with it is because it ignores a lot of the like active lore of Star Wars and just break shit that would ruin possible future stories and other shit like that. And it's like, dude, you had a good story and you fucked it in the ass. You had something and you ruined it. And to be honest, I don't think it's all Ryan Johnson's fault. For the Last Jedi, I think that's a lot of J.J. Abrams' fault. He left him with fuck all. Luke Skywalker and George Lucas's original plan of the prequels was supposed to be in the whole of like, well, I don't say the whole, but I mean, like, it's supposed to be
Breaking up.
You're breaking up badly, Stone.
bad, yeah. But
Fucking
what's it?
shit yard
It's
is fucking
sequel
up.
defenders.
Train Luke in the first film, and actually, it was the first one the Death Star ruins is supposed to be in. Like, all of it is stolen from Lucas, just slapped together in different ways. And Johnson seems to be the only one who just like steal from the already written script because I don't think he had access to that. I don't think he had access to the writer that was being used for it because he was already fired by that point. Because the writer that Lucas picked for the sequel trilogy was fired by Abrams, and he only got credit because if he didn't get credit, Abrams would leave him open to be sued for the stuff he stole from him. So you just give him credit and you let him have some money. He gets less. He didn't. He wasn't there the whole time. He got sacked early on.
Are you guys ready for the epic like fucking self-ownage that B Level's gonna get? Because I have a feeling this is what's going to end up happening.
Yeah, sure. Let's start it.
There are a couple of things I need to express. The Falcon General is not lying. What she says is all true. However, I should clear a few things up. It was actually the Bundesblog states that Comrade's Net's full name. After the doxing event, Comrade Net did everything he could.
Wrong. That was not meant to be public. Wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong.
Even if someone had leaked the private group chat, any number of people had access to this public information. It could have easily been looked over. You can't turn around and call me a doxer, man. I didn't do it. I swear I would. Bitch, man. Like, what's this all this pat sock fucking big masculinity shit? None of you can
This is
fucking stand
pathetic.
up for your own shit. It's pathetic. Just fucking stand for your shit. You don't like Jewish lumpen fucking aristocrats, so you fucking dox them. Like, it's your fucking thing. If you're gonna be anti-Semitic, that's fine. Well, it's not, but
Yeah.
just be open about it so we can criticize you and see if you can get away from it, which we don't think you will. Or you can
Keep-
go with the way that most anti-Semites go, which
I
look to history. That's all I can say.
I would say this: keep playing because it's getting to the best part, which I will tell you to stop at the best part where he starts talking.
To remove his face from Facebook, Falcon General statements are true. Much to Comrade Net's stress, the firstborn, Corporal Cat, has founded their own Bundes chapter and has taken the position of leader of Maoist Rebel News Youth.
So there you have it. He admits that.
Are you fucking?
There you
That
have it.
clip disproved your point, you fucking idiot.
Citation needed.
Yeah.
This is horribly edited. He got destroyed in his own goddamn video with that clip.
It was hilarious, though. It was super hilarious. Keep continuing.
I can't believe he's destroying himself with his own video.
He just shot himself in the foot there, so
Wow.
let's continue, because then he's gonna start talking shit about me.
Event, aka a private chat, that's the information when they decided to attack me and make it look like it was private information, they deleted off the internet. But he admits that it was readily available public information.
So is your full name, but we're not going to get into that, are we, be liberal? I mean, your full name was on Instagram, or have you forgotten? In fact, if one of our people that actually says it's true, then guess what? Your full name is public now, you dumb motherfucker. You can't hide this fucking information forever once it's on the internet. Like, you dox B-level, it's going to come back to you. You're playing with fire, B-level. You should shut the fuck up for your own good. Seriously.
Delete your channel, basically.
There we go. I've adapted myself for the content I had.
And
Citation
continue,
needed.
because then here...
Can we just put Ewoks unhinged out of its misery?
yeah.
Seriously.
But,
My baby that I helped create
unfortunately, they don't.
deserves to be deleting
Put
Ewoks
down.
unhinged would be a mercy killing at this point.
I mean, at the
Alright,
end of the
continue.
day, like they need to fuck off back in the little hole they crawled out of. No one wants to hear the petty bourgeois bullshit, but yeah, we'll continue. Falcon, he's like, come on.
Oh,
Continue. Like,
Time is running out.
Like, my time is running out. Like,
I know it is. I'm just trying to be funny. I fail at it. It's an attempt. Doesn't mean I succeed.
Never.
God, this sound quality for B-Level's video is crap. We're gonna have to be quiet.
Do that. So we know here Jason is being completely dishonest. Also wanted to add that lastly, my criticism for said sketchy character, and fellow traveler can back me up on this. By the way, if you want to ask someone else, ask fellow
traveler can back me up on this.
Oh yeah, fellow traveler.
hey, continue. This is the
don't
part
be
I'm
a
going to tell you to stop at.
That wants to fucking cozy up to fucking, you know, Haas and Caleb. Oh yeah, that's your fucking source.
Can you?
Caleb doesn't. Oh yeah, let's. I'm sorry, I gotta.
Yeah, because it'll get to the best part that I'm talking about.
All right, let's.
Since crew with the incorporation of all these minors in their crew has just cited in his video multiple people under the age of 18. So if you're trying to prove your point, like I exonerated myself. There was no doxing. Now the criticism's on you. And
okay, time to call bullshit, because actually there was only one, and that would be me. And next, with the incorporation of Corporal Cat, that's 2. So that's not multiple. That's just 2. So literally how about actually learn how to read, you illiterate fuck. And learn the definition of multiple.
Cameron Youth works as well, is it's a place for youths to run themselves and be essentially autonomous, so long as they're not pushing like reactionary, like, you know, like racist or like unprincipled shit. You know what I'm saying? Like for them to expand themselves outward and push their politics.
Reclaiming my time. Also, good point. Reclaiming my time. Also, 2. Literally, we're not even on YouTube anymore. So basically, we just work behind the scenes. That's the thing. We work behind the scenes. And dude, literally, this video was back in 2020 fucking 1. And also, Trav doesn't even know. Literally, I don't even talk to Trav anymore, and I haven't even talked to him since literally like early 2021. And literally, Trav's points or Trav's analysis on this is completely outdated and based off of BS. That's it. And literally, and you're gonna listen to Trav, the guy who just grifts for a living. And like basically the shoe fits because he's also a grifter too. So, and they both get no bitches. So, you know.
All right,
I'm the one getting bitches.
Falcon, I will leave it up to you. You want this video to continue?
Continue.
I don't get Gen Z sometimes.
They get no bitches. That's a 0-bit score.
It's because I'm a cripple. I have a disadvantage in the bitch equivalent.
Right. Okay, let's continue.
Have people stop critiquing you for incorporating young kids in your crew? Stop having young kids in your crew.
He is a grifter and a LARPer who calls real-life activists like Luke Dublin LARPers. When a LARPer calls others LARP, it is because they don't want to look into the real persons doing real work.
Yeah, I want to address this point that he said about me as a podcaster, because yeah, I'm a podcaster, I'll admit that, but that I don't focus.
You're not a podcaster, you're a LARPer.
You're not a fucking podcaster.
Podcasters do way more work than this. What are you on about? They do like fucking 10.
Every single fucking podcaster you try to fucking, you know, engage with or try to like forge ties with rejected you. because they can see
Also, the
your
term
fucking bullshit.
podcast is a term that's shaped after like Apple corporate marketing. Like, why are we still using this fucking outdated term from the iPod? It just feels weird.
Like,
Yeah.
seriously, this is fucking, this video is pathetic.
Oh, continue because it's hilarious.
Compared to you, it's like, Jason, look at my catalog compared to yours. It's just like night and day, especially in relation to the global south and
Are you fucking serious?
Sorry, I missed. I was reading the chat. What did he say? I couldn't hear him. Can someone please tell me what was said that I didn't hear?
He said that he's comparing his like collection of videos to Jason's, and basically is saying like he does more coverage on the global south than Jason does.
Jason does a news
I'm more of
piece
a third
near enough
worlder.
every day. It's very rare you will see Jason not produce a video daily. Like, he always tries to make sure he's keeping up with things, and most of Jason's videos are focused on the global south.
Oh.
For whatever focus gets put onto dealing with mopping or
Oof.
people like that comes into both how the first world interacts with the global south. We have a movement we have to build here, an anti-war movement, a struggle. That's the primary cause of anything. Like, anything regarding how we engage ourselves as struggling communists
Alright.
needs to be in an anti-war movement. And a lot of people need to wake up and look at a lot of the like post 2008 movements. They weren't like working class movements.
Yeah.
March on Wall Street wasn't predominantly proletariat. It was a lot of fucking middle class and petty bourgeois people. They
Yeah.
the same consciousness as us.
Also,
Wall Street
also,
was easily
sorry.
co-opted because of that as well. No, it's all right. Go on, Doug.
Also, just one last thing before I just go. Basically, it's this, like, his whole thing about how says he has connections to the global south. Actually, no, your supposed connections, don't even exist, actually. They're all living in the United States, so they're not even a part of the global south. Two, actually, I got more people from the global south that are actually fighting again. I got friends and people I basically almost speak on a daily basis, or weekly or monthly basis,
I mean, and just
that
think
are
over the
actually.
whole
Wait,
time period
can
as
I
well.
finish?
It's something I want to
Sorry.
quickly say on what you're doing though. Like, so regards this as well. This is not just now, but look over the time period. Like, people from Brazil, people from Peru, people from all sorts of different countries in Africa, Asia. I've only spoken with a lot of different people, and you gotta get a lot of respect for that.
So basically, I have spoken with basically people who are actually fighting armed struggle against their respective states, who have been suppressing basically the people there
They're
and
right to be
basically been
concerned.
doing violence against them. You haven't. You try to claim that you're some sort of journalist, but you're just an incel that is on your computer all day who thinks he's all big and bad, macho man. Dude, come talk to me when you actually get some bitches. Bye.
It's
Red blue,
simple.
comrades. See you next time.
It's
Adios,
blessed W,
motherfucker.
comrade. Stay safe
Viva
and
la
keep your
carrera
head up high,
popular.
and stay
Solidarity,
safe. Keep
Falco.
your head up high, and always remember
Red salute.
perseverance is the strength of the proletariat. It's what keeps us alive.
Good thing I got bitches. Bye, guys.
Later.
Respect.
Respect.
You know, I don't know. This is fucking hilarious to me. Like, oh, my catalog. It's night and day. It's like, motherfucker, all you do is streaming, and fucking
Well,
occasionally
come on, man.
record
That's a bit hard. He has to press the fucking play button thing. He doesn't even show his face either. It's not like he has like stage anxiety. He's covered up and everything.
It's like, oh my god. It's like all you do is fucking record stuff on StreamYard and occasionally maybe record some stuff with your mic and edit on whatever fucking your preferred editing tool is. It's like, come on. What Jason does is far more work than what you do. You fucking stupid motherfucker.
Jason's been terrorized for fucking years and years of abuse he's had to deal with.
No.
Like, and it's you know what? Like, it really fucking got with him, and that's why he ended up taking so many fucking bad positional paths and got fucking too nicey with people like Caleb and other people like that, and the Dengists, and he had to realize, oh shit, no, this is unprincipled. This is pushing away from our positions as a Maoist third worldist to indulge in these reactionaries that claim to be Marxist. I think revisionist is too nice of a word for these people. They're far gone from that. So they're just outright reactionaries. And so, like, when it comes into this business, it's like, Jason's Jason's lucky he came out the other side still principled and holding on to his positions and firing on the cylinders he wasn't firing on when he was indulging with Dengus, putting himself back on that, fiery back into the fiery stance he always used to have when, uh, sort of prior to 2016. 2016 was when shit started to go a bit downhill for Jason. But he made his way back. 2018 was a good return, and 2019. But he had the Dengish problem, which was a bit of a tie on, and from the struggles regarding efficacy and whiteness. Hence the really shitty video on anti-white politics is apparently anti-revolutionary. Well, I disagree, and I'm vehemently anti-white. So fuck that.
Like, and here's another that I find hilarious about B level. It's like he acts like he like barely anyone watches you. B level. It's like I make less content than you every month, and I get more views on average than you do. The only kind of videos that get any attention is a joke of a video like this one. I mean, my God, this is not only cringe. You have made me laugh because of the moronic fucking comments. I mean, oh my God. How could anyone still watch this fucking channel? Oh wait, let's try to get through this as much as possible without pausing. I'm not gonna count on it though.
Okay, go for it.
The oppressed nations within North America, Turtle Island. Like, dude, what planet are you on? That's how.
What? What?
What planet are you on, Be Liberal? What the fuck?
You deny that the fucking Arizona massacre happened. What the? You fucking support fucking Haas with his fucking racist conspiracy theory against land back.
And he supports Pan-Americanism, which is not what the natives
The
want.
settlerist shit that's settler shit, Pan-Americanism. It's like, oh guys, we can do the thing again where we give you treaties and we corner off parts of land for you. Don't worry, we'll respect them this time. We promise. Yeah, like I've heard that one before a million times.
It's
Yeah,
like
they're coming back to finish the job,
Yeah,
I mean, like, what's it? Fucking Mason Steiner's very big on that. Like, his New America shit is very big on like doing this fucking treaty bullshit and signing to like, oh, the good efficacy of like America, and that's all they are. They're all romanticists about America. He's like, oh no, I gotta hold on to my American thing. He ignores his German and Irish heritage, throws that aside, and just attaches himself to his American heritage. And this is because he's a petty bourgeois. He's there with petty bourgeois consciousness and wants to keep himself tied into it all. And this is where it all revolves around into people like Bilo or all these other people like that, where they're tied to this fucking image that America is the greatest thing ever. Not because they just believe it entirely, but because it's a great way to push supremacism, especially to keep themselves in great positions of power. And all these people end up being these weird Christian conservative or opinionally selected racist towards their own people, Muslim or Hindi people that are pulled out as well and used as props. And the use of them is as props. This is objectification. Haz's use of any form of anything regarding the Muslim people is objectification of them and their struggles. Piece of shit.
We should continue with this.
Sorry, I got a bit too analytical.
No, don't apologize.
I've said like 1492 land back
Terrible
claim.
for it.
It's the Troika Collective. I actually create real internationalist connections.
Hello there.
What? Oh, go get over yourself. Real internationalist connections. What? Citation needed. I'm sorry, but do you have Dr. Abraham Weisfeld? Have you had him on your show? No, I have. Jason has.
I can be a bit socially stupid, but is a no you applicable here? Because I feel like deploying a no you just
It's like, so people that actually have experience or fucking
experience the only pathway to genuine knowledge. Mouse the
yes.
tongue.
It's
I
like
prefer the old pronunciation. There's the dong thing. Just it sounds like we're
Didn't
talking about Mao's dong. Like English has made me uh, stupid.
like
So
be liberal probably wasn't even born yet. But didn't Jason
offensive.
didn't Jason literally have Steve Struggle like on his show before? Like
yes.
I don't mean to be like funny offensive or anything like that with Mao Zedong's name. I just find Mao Zedong rolls off the tongue better. You can also say it without booming your voice. I just find every time I say Mao Zedong, I always end up booming my
Interestingly enough, I
voice
think
a
I
little
think
bit more.
Mao Zedong is how most people said it beforehand because that's how my grandmother knew about Mao, and she
The
doesn't
old
know.
English translation of it. There's a new
Yeah, like
English translation now.
yeah, like she doesn't know how to use computers or whatever, so she has no idea what Mao Zedong is. She knows them as Mao Zedong.
Zedong versus Zedong, the battle of the
I
century. Dun
I
dun 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 dun
I
dun
personally
dun.
think we should try to progress through this because this is
Oh,
like
one thing I'll say before you press play though, I think Zedong was spelled with like a lowercase t and then a capital S.
Hmm.
It's because they changed the English spelling. Yeah. I remember looking into it because I got a bit confused. But I think it's like South Zedong. It's a lowercase t and then it's a uppercase S.
Yeah.
Very interesting way of spelling name. And it's basically because the S and the T, I think, are supposed to be a conjoined letter, so one letter described. Or it's like that. That's probably where I'm getting a bit confused. It's it's different. It's not so much this weird. It's different, but different does feel weird. So I guess you could say that, but it's just different. Like I like the way different dialects are. I'm not a dialectician. I don't know it very well, but I pick up different things here and there because they're very interesting around the world. But continue on before I make it go from 2 hours to 3 hours.
We're comrades in Canada, way more than you've ever done. But hey, if you want to stick to your pan-Europeanism, that's on you, buddy. But we all know the reason that you went after me
You
6
want to
months
stick
after
to eating
this
Caleb
supposed
mop and shit
incident.
off his living
It's
room
because you had a
carpet? You can
debate
stick
with
to that,
Dave
buddy.
and Noah about your pan-Europeanism versus pan-Americanism. Yeah, so I will share actually your private DM now. Just what I said. Not what he said, but just what I said. I don't share DMs, but you all need to see this.
this probably was
I
not
don't
a good
share
idea,
DMs,
B
but let
level.
me just share DMs.
Yeah.
This may not have been a good. This is not what the I gotcha like you think it is.
After
It's
his
like what's
debate
it?
with
You know
Caleb
what's funny about all these
I
people is
still
like
reached out as a comrade
they're all
and
like, oh,
Jason.
what's it if it's in
Said,
DMs
hope
or
you
this
stay
or that.
well. Hope you keep your
Trav was like this
channel.
with me. Fucking Trav, when I was like criticizing him on video, he's like, "Oh, you should comment in DMs and this." And it's like, why should I? We're both public figures. If you're gonna hold a bad public position, people should know it. I am not the arbiter of criticism. My criticisms aren't gonna just change you, but it might influence people to push you to change. That's the fucking point. That's why you do criticism like that. It's a group situation. You're supposed to organize together. You don't just sit there in one-to-one struggle sessions. That does happen, but that's for interpersonal conflict sort of situations, and only when you're in actual organizations together. Trav, we're not in an organization together. Just in case you do decide to watch this far for a video, but I doubt it. Got the attention span of a donkey on steroids. But the what's it? The you know, what was I saying? Sorry. I got caught up in my
DMs
joke.
private.
No, so yeah,
B,
no, so yeah, so what's it? You don't. We're not in the same org. I get it then. I was know where I was. Sorry, I've been up all night and all day. But
Okay.
what's it? Trav, I comment me as I do it in private. It's like at the end of the day, we're both public figures. I ain't the same org. I should probably criticize you publicly. You've got a different fan base than me, and I'm gonna deal with it. And I know that there's a for all the unprincipled hate for anarchists that appears in Trev's comment every time he ever talks about them and decides to obscure the fact that anarchism has updated itself since 1852. The what's it? And that doesn't mean go to 1873. It means go all the way up to Monday, please. Don't fucking skip a beat.
Also,
But what I will say is that there are a lot of principled people in his fan base who, when he went to go and go with Has, pushed against it, and he ran back and he tried to go back again when in his community section because he kept flip flopping within the moment, and people bastardized him, so he deleted that. And then you had like B Liberal started appearing with him on stream, and the people didn't like that, so he started doing it on his second channel to get it away from his primary channel because people didn't like it, but he still wanted to do it. Like genuinely, dodgy business, dodgy business. If you can't handle the truth and be honest as to what you are and what you engage with, you're a scumbag.
also, didn't Be Liberal like support the Karen convoy shit that was going on in
Yes, he
fucking
did.
Canada?
Vehemently. They were robbing the homeless at the homeless shelters. They were going to homeless shelters demanding they give food armed with rifles and shit.
Yeah, I don't think this fucking idiot covered that shit at all. Like that.
I'm
That's
not
why
sorry, not armed with rifles. What were they carrying? Because it's in Canada. I'm thinking America.
Jason's
Whatever the
videos
fuck they are.
around that time were very informative. He was covering a lot of in-depth shit that like a lot of other people weren't even talking about, or you wouldn't even see in like
Yeah.
mainstream news or whatever. So like Jason was incredibly valuable
Yeah,
during that
Jason
period.
was very hard on it. I only saw half of the videos he did on it because what's it? I'm chock loaded and I've been in bad health state, so it's been a
Yeah,
micromanage for me. But
yeah.
I
I
just
also
remember
saw.
the Karen convoy being a nose because it was just all these Americans lick us in a Canadian convoy that was preaching eugenics and blood sacrifices and crap like that. Like fucking type of stuff you expect to hear from like not just Nazis, from Himmler. Anyone who knows their World War II history will know exactly what I'm on about when I say that the guy who's leading that felt just like Himmler. You know what I'm referring to.
Yeah,
I
and
thought believed in the hollow earth theory, man. Like
Uh,
fuck.
didn't Be
what?
Liberal himself like supposedly self-crit like before like in a community post or some shit, or I don't remember where it was. I think it was a community post where he was like basically saying that like he's gonna try to not be just a fucking online fucking podcaster or whatever and gonna actually try to get involved in Canadian like he said he's out here he just said that like he's more involved in Canadian politics than Jason. He had absolutely no fucking idea about the actual specifics about the Karen convoy,
I mean,
and
the
he
are
himself
in
admitted that he's
Canada,
not
so
involved in it.
it's like that's the thing. They're both in Canada, so they both, as communists, have a responsibility to attend to it. And Jason not only attend to it, but he lived right near it.
Yeah,
You know, like he that's what he said to Caleb. He's like, I could see what was going on, right? I'm fucking, I could go into the thing that was going on. The Karen convoy did not just cover one part of Canada; they were everywhere. They wanted to do a coup.
yeah. Jason literally did a press TV interview about it as well. If I recall.
Yes, he
Yeah.
did.
Before fucking they decided to go a bit quiet on him, and Caleb has been involved with Press TV for a long time. And as Caleb said himself, Caleb was the one who invited Jason to Press TV essentially. Caleb was trying to politically groom Jason. It was all obvious now. You can see it plain and simple. To be honest, the biggest example of it that really got to me was that in the debate about billionaire socialism, he used abuser tactics to try and get at Jason, and that's the type of person who thinks they have a grip over someone.
Speaking
Yeah.
And that was as soon as I started to see what was going on, and I didn't fully realize it until it was,
speaking
too
of
late.
abuse,
Jason
look at this
listened to
this
these
DM
people
with
who
B
want to
level
criticize
and
his
Jason.
message.
Look
Yeah,
at
look
this.
at this shit. Look at
I
it's
mean,
like it's trying to like groom him basically,
like,
saying like,
like,
hey,
hold
you
on,
can reach
hold
out to
on.
me, like.
Like, if you read between the lines, there's ableism in this exchange,
Yeah.
and I'm not exaggerating. Basically,
Well, that's it. They
heavily
always try and
implying that
attack us autistic people. We're fucking
heavily implying that
and the
Jason
physically disabled too. We get
is
shit
like
hard.
heavily implying that Jason is mentally ill. That's what he's implying here. You
Yeah,
can read between the lines.
fucking what's it? It's not just the fact that he's implying that he's mentally ill. He's implying that to be mentally ill, which pretty much everyone in the fucking bourgeois system is some form of mental fucking illness. You petty bourgeois slime all. You're a narcissistic fucking personality disorder. That's one thing we can fucking check off the list. So this is the thing: is that fucking be liberal. I have mental health conditions. Does it mean that I therefore have no valid position or any capacity to engage? Like, do you understand the confines of what struggle is and how one engages in struggle, how one learns from struggle, how one envelops from struggle, and the mental, you know, sort of trauma that one has to go through when they go through a lot of struggle? You don't come out of that without having some form of mental illness. That's everyone knows that. Don't play fucking dumbass or anything like that bullshit with me and try and start slandering random like Jason as I'm mentally ill, so therefore no, I just think wait, the geezer's been fucking insulted constantly for decades straight. Of course he's gonna have something fucking mentally ill with him because he's struggling. That does not invalidate his points at all. If he's speaking the truth, doesn't matter how fucking mentally ill he is, he's speaking the fucking truth. You know, utter disgusting ableism, you slimy little asshole. I suffer with
Jason,
bipolar. I suffer with bipolar. I suffer with generalized anxiety disorder. I suffer with PTSD. I suffer with fucking all sorts of fucking horrible mental health problems like that. You know, that's what I have. Those are all those some of the most horrible mental health problems you can get. Bipolar is and PTSD are both dissociative identity disorders. It does not invalidate my point. You can try all you want to invalidate my point by it. It doesn't. Being mentally ill does not make you crazy, you fucking moron. And being crazy does not make you insane. You have
Well-
no idea what it's like. I have dealt with some of the craziest people down in the lumpen. I have had people fucking stick machete in my face. I've had the same geezer who did that try and chop down the door of my mate's on Christmas Eve morning at 5 a.m. with that machete, pissed out of his brains. And we were at the top of the stairs with fucking air rifles while his missus decided to call the police, and the police wasted her time for ages and then turned around and told her to go speak to him. Like, put the phone down afterwards, after, like, you know, like, go speak with him and see what happens. Call us if something bad goes wrong. Like, someone's fucking chopping our door down with the machete. What you got? What? You gotta do something about it? No, did nothing. Actually, the geezer just stopped. But we were at the top of the stairs. He had an air rifle and I had the air pistol. I think that's the way around it was. One of us had one, the other. Actually, no, we had them set up first to have one at the other room. We both had a golf club each to fucking, you know, actually, the idea was to fucking launch the golf club down straight because it will keep traction straight. You don't want to, at some point, trying to hit someone with them, it's useless like that. If you throw it like a spear, it'll keep it straight, angular, so the thing, because he lives in an upstairs flat, so you have gravity as your advantage. So you throw the golf clubs at him, and then you shoot him if he doesn't fucking stop. But he never got through the door anyway. He ended up buggering off. He pissed through the letterbox. But that was a very interesting Christmas Eve morning, I'll tell you. And, you know, I've gone through all sorts of weird experiences, being robbed up, many different occasions. I've not been, like, jumped in the sense of being battered by multiple people before, unfortunately, in that regard. But I've seen some nasty business down there. The Be Liberal was all the fucking penny of the drop of. And it comes because there's a class structure to the lumpen. I don't know if you know that, Mr. Lumpen Proletariat. There's a class structure to the disenfranchised sector of society. The idea that someone could have no class in a class society is fucking ridiculous. Your relation to the system at hand. If you don't relate to the proper system, you've got to look at like, okay, but how are you disenfranchised? Then how does your disenfranchised position relate to the system? A black proletariat is normally disenfranchised to the point where the lumpen proletariat, especially more so back when we were in the 60s and the 70s, where you had the black workers of the car industry that were mostly lumpenized because of their disenfranchisement and ridiculously low pay. But you work on assembly plants, essentially, just pushing things together, putting car parts on. Yeah.
let's just finish this this crap.
All this stuff. And this was dated like a month ago. And he comes out of nowhere and attacks me still. So I've always
No. He was re-uploading a video, B-level. Get over yourself.
treated you as a
It was
combat, Jason.
Cobra Cat, yeah,
even
Cobra
when
Cat
you
attacked you,
faltered.
douchebag.
And
Faltered. Motherfucker, Jason
Isn't it
has
interesting how he
has
doesn't
been-
cover Cobra Cat? He doesn't cover Cobra Cat's like criticism. It's just
motherfucker, he's been doing this for over 12 years. You've
liar.
gotten to the fucking game in like what, 2020? You think because since you've been doing a bunch of fucking streams that you have an authority to tell people what is and what isn't revolutionary or revolutionary praxis? You have fucking no experience,
you
B
know.
level. You're a fucking baby. Babies it's like insulting to babies. You're a fucking a infant.
He is a shit muncher. He is the. We've been trying to figure out why Caleb Moppin shits on the floor, and it's obvious. It's because B liberal lives under his bed and refuses to leave. Caleb has tried so much to get rid of him, but instead he ensures that he keeps him well fed and all that because he gave in, he lapped in, and they grew to love each other over time. It was a weird relation. It's like you know the movie with the big fucking dog. I can never remember the name of it. The geezer, and he gets it's like Pooch. Is the name of the dog or something like that, or Hooch, and he just terrorizes the geezer for the most part and treats him like a dickhead. Eventually, he realizes that it's like that, but there's shit on the floor, and it's the owner that's shitting on the floor. Caleb Moppin.
And B level, here's the thing. I give it 6 months, if not a year, and I'm being generous, and nobody will know who you are.
I mean, fucking, what's it? Even if people do know who he is, it's just like he's just an irrelevant geezer laughing on. Like here's the thing. Even he might, for all we know, he might still find some place to get himself some relevant servitude. Petty bourgeois people like that. It doesn't matter if he sticks to the mannerisms he goes about. No matter how much clout or traction he can build around himself, he'll always be a fucking petty bourgeois fascist little rat who supports
Well, B level has a lot of enemies.
Shit, American. Yeah, because he's so fucking annoying and just. Yeah, I know it's not nice to just call people annoying and all that. Because I know a lot of people are going through trauma with that. But like, it's not. It's annoying in the sense that like he's just such a prick. Like you can't. There's only so much of someone speaking to you like you're a fucking prick that you can handle if we lose your fucking right.
Well, very soon I would like our guest who's been on here for a while to have a chance to speak.
I'm a bit of a rambler.
So I want to actually finish this video.
Eventually.
And for real, this was only posted to show that you, with your own words, have exonerated me. So for real.
No.
Don't come barking up my tree again, because we're focused.
B level.
Barking up your tree. Does he think that Jason's like looking for a sponsorship?
I mean,
sponsored by morons.
B level. I'm gonna level with you here. Nobody likes you. Okay? Maybe you have some weird people that might like you for whatever reason, but the Pat Sox as a whole don't fucking like you.
Fucking Caleb's toilet system likes him because it's
Caleb Moppin fucking doesn't give a shit about you. He only comments when you're addressing his political enemies, but that's it. Caleb Moppin, he sees you as a joke. Okay?
You're a tool.
The entire fucking Pet Sock community sees you as a fucking joke. I mean,
not just that anyway. It's just the way fascists work. Fascists are like, so the petty bourgeois class consciousness. They take this very collectivist individualist. They see themselves as lords who have a right to a certain aspect of like how society is and how it works because they're the big smarty, top of the fucking food chain people. That's why like when Gramsci's talking about the upper sector of intellectuality and the opposite to an organic intellectual. He doesn't call it a bourgeois intellectual. He calls it a petty bourgeois intellectual because that's where that opposition to the lumpen proletarian organic intellectuals and even some lower aristocrats who get abandoned who end up going down them ways. This organic intellectuality is in complete stark opposition to the petty bourgeois intellectuality, which is it's causally centered around that class conscious sort of mentality that invokes fascism and neo-feudalism and makes them think that they should not only be above what's below them but above what's above them, and that's what they get very wanting to either manhandle the capitalist system in the case of fascism, or in the more other sense of neo-feudal ideas, which the closest thing you could kind of point to is certain revisionist countries like the Soviet Union at certain points. But I mean, that's kind of contested with a lot of different ideas and positions that need to be put out. So I won't go into that. But neo-feudalism is the form of like third positionism. The third position is the neo-feudal position. Fascism is a form of neo-feudalism, and neo-feudalism is where the petty bourgeoisie, under their class conscious sort of idea, is that they want the bourgeois to be under control or eliminated. They want to dominate society. They think that the bourgeois being too powerful above them and the proletariat being too vast and in their eyes disgusting and poor and all that or the icky stuff that they want to say because we scare them or something. They then push for Malthusian policies against us while pushing for either repressive and controlling policies of the bourgeoisie, or they eliminate them. Of course, we're not really got to see that develop because even in what you could call neo-feudalism in regards to the Soviet Union, I mean, Khrushchev, you could actually argue it's fascism. He was trying to rebuild capitalism. And Brezhnev, I say you could argue it, but it's hard to say. You could argue it's just exactly the same as Khrushchev, like Hosha said. He's probably right, and I'm probably wrong. So, yeah.
I would like to finish this. We're almost done, so let's try to finish this.
Listen on real anti-imperialist international.
Real anti-imperialist action. What do you think Jason's content has been for the past 12 years? Be liberal? Majority of your fucking career has been e-drama. You're really gonna fucking get there? Oh, don't. And for fuck's sake, you try to talk a fucking woman to breaking up with her fucking fiance, for God's sake. So don't fucking talk to me or Jason about being like fucked up or don't care about real issues.
Fucking what's it? Keep waiting for the truth. We're searching for the truth.
Content. If you want to support that, power to you. If not, do your own thing.
You're a fucking sex pest and a fucking groomer, B-level.
But get better, man. As always, thanks everyone for all the support.
I'll play hard stuff with Caleb. He used to be into that sort of stuff. I heard that he was watching like BDSM porn when he was in fucking the RCP.
And by the way, I'm not making this up when I say that B-level did actually try to talk, even though he's not really a friend or anything. I was there. Everyone, by the way, in the group was against him doing this. He was trying to get this person to break up with her fiance and try to get her to leave him.
Oh, he's one of those guys. I mean, like, what's it? It's like how you get like Black Shirts TV with his fucking like bringing in lumpen pro women to help them on their feet so he can sexually manipulate them.
And by the way, this is fucking public knowledge. I don't know if you can find the stream anymore that exposed this, but even though me and Kyle Phantom are not on good terms at all, in fact, we can't stand each other. But he literally did do that, and I don't care. I will say this because he actually did try to get fucking someone's fiance to break up with their fucking. The more I think about it, the more I realize I was with some fucked up people.
This is like what Black Shirts TV does with lumpen pro women and bringing them off the street. He grooms them and he tempts to. They seem to always reject him. I wonder why. But he brings them in and just tries to help them off their feet, white knight for them. You know what I'm talking about. And then it's like it's some like expected emotional relationship out of it. He's gonna get. That's not how helping people out works. It's not how it works. But it's not because he doesn't know how it works. It's because he's trying to abuse the fact that people are in poverty and he's petty bourgeois to get himself a bride. Put it in that language that might suit his Christian fucking Protestant Calvinist crap. Calvinism is fucking horrible, man. Fuck Calvinists. Like I got respect people who are religious, but fuck Calvinists. Piece of shit. Fucking filthy prots.
Now,
what's it? But that's the same thing with be liberal. I got to finish this. So the be liberal similar in this. These petty bourgeois people, they're sex pests. They sexually manipulate people who are in horrible situations, and they try and break up people's relationships. They cause a load of melodrama. They think they have a right not only to like relation to other people, but a right to be able to have like bodily interactions with other people. To, there's no better word I can put for it, but it, like expected sex, like they expect it. Like even if they're in a relationship, they expect it. That's not how it works. You can't expect that out of anyone, no matter even if you're in a relationship with them. Don't work like that.
I'm calling this B level is going to do a response to this, like when I calling him a fucking sex pest, because that's exactly who he is. I should have fucking revealed this information a year ago. I don't know what the fuck I was thinking.
These fucking sandflies are blood pests and need to go back to the hellspawn fucking place they came from.
So I've
Does anyone
been
have like a
sitting
torch and
here.
fire?
On.
Sorry, Gangaros.
Okay, sorry, Gangaros. Our guest has been here for almost an hour, and I don't know if you.
Sorry
if you
again
wanna,
as well, man, for
you wanna,
rambling a
if
lot.
you want
You've
to say
been sitting
something,
for a lot of me.
but if you'd like to say something, I'd like to give you the floor.
Yeah, sorry about that, brother.
Sorry, I'm a bit stage fright.
No,
It's
it's
okay.
all right, man. You've been put on the spot. Like it's
Just take your time. We're not in a rush.
sweet
Alright.
business.
So if you don't know, oh fuck.
Relax.
Don't worry, brother. It's all right. The best thing to
Okay.
go about is deep breaths. That's my best way about it. I understand what it's like having extreme anxiety. I'm really anxious.
Okay. So I know we've kind of had a falling out before in the past, but I was if you don't remember me, I was part of Fantifa when B Level was doing that whole thing in 2019. Do you remember?
Right,
I remember.
Yeah.
Wait,
So
Beta Crate, is that you?
yes.
Oh, no, man.
Okay.
So it's Lump and Third Worldist. I find it interesting how you talk about like the whole sex thing. So I know Dark Snow
Well,
we might
you know better than I do, so
Okay.
you can give this story.
Okay, so I know we might not agree with everything regarding the Kyle Phantom situation, but
That's irrelevant because B Level fucking is a fucking sociopathic piece of shit.
Well, on regards to that, B Level, on regards to the B Level being a sex pest, he was trying to hit on Kyle's girlfriend. So I just wanted to mention that. But
it's something that, like, I mean, like, what's it? You notice this with a lot of people who are like middle class, especially people as well, where they think that people are like there for their pleasure, and if they can't get it, they will rape people. And like when you look at rapes, it's always like these affluent people raping really poor homeless people or broken down people or trans people or homosexual people. Someone who has any form of struggle they can to use against them, to use their oppression against them. These cis white males, and even cis white women in a lot of cases as well, but it's predominantly a male issue, to be honest. Like, as much as everyone like us, we do need to talk about women's sexual abuse, and we do, but it's a predominant male issue. This type of stuff I'm talking about, this rape, hard play stuff. But women do engage in it. There are cases of women doing this horrible business. But once again, it's a class issue. But sorry for cutting you over.
it's okay. I don't have too much information on B Level, but I will say it is that leak of his name is true, and even Iron Inquisitor can confirm it. So
it is true. All of it is true. You can ask anyone in State of Star Wars the same thing. And by the way, Beta Crate, General CGG did not approve of this at all. He was pissed off when B Level did that.
I can see.
He was pissed. So was everyone in the State of Star Wars server when he did that. Like, be liberal caused all sorts of problems. I mean, everything you say is true. It really is. And it's an understatement just how fucked up that situation was. And I can't believe I indulged in it. I owe up to it. I should never have done that.
That's the thing is that.
Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say that's the thing is that Dark Side will actually like own up to it and self credit on this shit, but be liberal will just ignore it or pretend it never happened.
No, it's like he tried like going on about, oh, I have a history of being a fascist because I grew up in a really abusive household, and from the age of about 6, I got into the Nazis through learning history because I learned about history. I kept hearing about all this stuff about the British Empire had failed and lost and all that, and I looked at the history of it all, and I made my own conclusions. All these people that say people can't make political ideas about themselves, fucking hell. By the time I was a teenager, I was into all sorts of weird Nazi shit, and you know, when I was 16. Oh, no, 15. As I yes, 15 years old, I had my racism knocked down completely. I already wasn't racist towards African people by that point, other than like carryovers of use of stuff that I shouldn't do and other behaviors because I didn't know and didn't think any better. It was just stupid of me, but I didn't see African people in a racist light at that point. But I did have I did have like beliefs that were anti-Semitic, and that was fucking horrible. And what happened was when I learned about the Native American genocide, it made me really realize like what goes on with these things, and that the idea of the Europeans, the more chivalrous people, are all drained away. Like I had some fucking bad ideas, but it never stopped me from being a fascist. That was not tied to fascism. That was tied to just European settlerism in general and racism. That's where that hit me. What hit me with? Well, I'm not saying it's not tied to fascism. It's development. I'm saying in my like issues going on. What hit me then was I took acid. I got knocked off it then, and because I had like all of my shitty worldviews and my shitty past experiences and how I've consolidated my experiences and my pain and how I've tried to activate myself and how I've really been a bad person. No matter how much I tried to tell myself I was a good person, I was a horrible person, I was a horrific person, I was a monster, was the way I put it. My mind decided, nah, fuck that. Doors closed. You're going to open a new leaf. You're going to experience the world fresh. I nothing ever felt the same. I felt lost in places I'd been a million times every day of the week. Like you go, I mean, going there every day of the week because I've been to be there a million. You know what I mean. Like I go there every day of the week, but I've been there millions of times, and places like I go on my way to sixth form every day felt like I'd never been there before. It was anxious as all hell, but it helped me rebuild like everything about how I looked at the world and how I looked at myself and how I looked at my family and how I looked at society and how I looked at the system before I even got onto communism, before I even looked at socialism. And I was looking for someone to help me. I couldn't find it. Labour Party was not a help. They were a losing situation where I watched fucking Jeremy Corbyn just turn around and not say the things he would have said 10 years ago when he wasn't in the position of power because he wants to keep it and doesn't want the new Labour going against him and just little bitch boy crap. No one talking the right shit. And I was only there because the guy preached the word socialism and the workers. That caught me on. So when I was sitting in a sociology lesson and I'm sitting and I'm listening and I'm watching this video, I was just forced to take my earphones out. I was listening to my music. Watch this video. It's Mario Marx. And Mario Marx is like just talking about Marxism and all that. And it's kind of crappy when you're an actual principled Marxist. When you're looking at this, it's like this I'm there and I'm lost. I need someone to help me direct myself. And I going on about this dialectical materialism, the functions of capitalism, the way the state engineers itself to produce a proletariat, an aristocracy. Like, there's all these different processes that were being dumped on my head around this time because it wasn't just that video. That video interested me. Then I got to learn more about Marxism in that sociology lesson, and it just every more and more I heard about it, even yeah, it just caught me on further. And it was a couple of months later, I was watching Jason, and I was joining a communist party and got myself kicked out. Well, the Communist Party issue was a little while after Jason. It was about 3 or 4 months after that, and then I got kicked out. It was about 6 months after I became a communist. I uh, went homeless, and it was about a year after I took the acid. Don't do acid. If you're going to do hallucinogenics, do mushrooms. That's the naturalist advertisement there. But the what's it? You shouldn't really do things like that. It really change your perspective of the world. But Ben did mine in a U band, and it didn't change it. It basically made me have to start again. That's what you got to remember. It won't change your perception of the world for you. You're not going to get anywhere. It's not magic drugs. I'm not talking about magic stuff here. I got to clarify that just in case people think I'm talking about some magic stuff that saved me and you think it's going to work on other people. No, this is an individual experience that I had on something that blanks your slate, essentially. And it doesn't always do that. That's just an experience I had because of the way I reflected on myself. You won't always reflect the same way. You might not be able to even force yourself to reflect the same way. I mean, I was on cocaine at the same time. I was off my rocker. I was all over the place. You know, why I say all over the place. That I was. The cocaine's not like that, but you know what I mean. I was fucking pretty wired and all over the place. But the thing is that I gave away my third line as well. Funnily enough, I didn't have my third line. It was my first time doing both acid and the only time I've done acid, but the first time I ever done coke. And I reflected on it all, and I had to go forward. And I essentially sitting there with my eyes closed, the end of the night, towards the end of everything after we'd gone for a thing. I was self-criticizing myself, and all the things I thought of philosophically, the way I'd applied myself. It was a very sort of all-focused thing because it's the thing that what hallucinogenics do is it basically turns off the filters in your brain, the filters for time diet, how we operate with time dilation, how we operate with um, our eyes seeing things properly. So what happens is that your eyes they see shit dodgy, and then what's it? They well, yeah, you got to dive into two things at once. But I'm a multitasker. So what happens? Your eyes see a lot of junk, and your brain filters it through. Well, when you're on acid, your brain basically doesn't filter the junk, so you see the junk. You see how things are all trippy for your eyes. Sometimes, if you go far enough, you'll see how the fact your eyes actually see things upside down, and it's your brain that flips the image. I only had one tab, so I wasn't so far gone. I was, just lucid, having a bit of a good old time. What really poignant is that I had to go through like a really hard position of going through my life and figuring things out. It was a traumatic experience, is what I'm trying to say, not trying to make it sound like a lovely one. It was traumatizing. It was hell. I didn't go through I didn't just turn around one day as a fascist and say I was a communist. I had to have my entire foundations of what I believe completely pulled out of my ass and told I could not have it by my own mind. I'm not verbally. I'm being metaphoric or I'm personifying. What I'm saying is that, um, that essentially the door was closed. I didn't have a choice in it, but it was off my own analysis of what I am, what I represent. But it's not a keeper. I get you. Yeah, it's one of them. I didn't just instantly become a socialist. It took months before I became a socialist. It took me a lot of period of going through some really reactionary positions and having to figure myself out because I wanted to go back. I was scared. It was terrifying, and I couldn't. The door was closed. It was locked. I couldn't go back. I couldn't mentally go back. I couldn't feel like me in my own skin and flesh and blood again. And here's the thing as well is when you get a uh when you get a fresh start to things and you suffer with so fibromyalgia, one of its big problems is chronic pain, chronic fatigue condition. Your outlook on the world is already going to be going for a bit of a palaver, and you've got PTSD and you've got all these memories of trauma and stuff like that. But you're having to start a fresh door on how you feel about everything and how you interact with everything, how you engage with everything. It's it's absolutely terrifying, but it helped me get out of a rut I was in for years. So I mean, hell yeah, good on what it did for me. Don't fuck around with acid. Anyone who's watching this, it's not simple shit. It's not like you're just gonna take it and see funny things. It's an experience that you've got to be ready for, and you've got to be ready to be principled on how you philosophically challenge yourself, because you will philosophically challenge yourself in such a situation. It's always going to happen because you're always going to, doesn't matter how many people you're with, you're always going to get that moment alone, whether you're asleep or not. You're always going to get that moment alone where you're consolidating on things. And you got to know that you really believe what you believe and you support what you support, or that if you do believe in what you believe, is that principle? Why do you believe what you believe? And if you're going to get asked that question, can you handle it? If you can't handle it, you ain't gonna have a fun time.
Careful,
I
Stone.
handled it.
B level is gonna frame this stream as we're encouraging people to take shrooms.
No, but people should smoke marijuana. I will say that. Like, it's been a cultural part of humanity for fucking thousands of years. And like, as much as I'm like one of the worst when it comes to breaching this issue on the marriage street code, and I know that when I meet my marriage brothers and sisters who are in America, if I ever do get the chance to, they're gonna smack me. The ones I'm on about know I'm on about. They're gonna smack me for fucking breaking the code. It's like not in a hateful way, just in a, like what the fuck you doing, man? Like, but at the end of the day, they will let me off with this one. It's probably just my sloppiness and other stuff. But it's good. Don't go joke it and permanently f you up. Corporal Cat knows the beat, but it's like yeah, Maxwell knows he's keeping himself on the high roller, but it's like the marijuana has been culturally used by humanity for fucking hundreds of thousands of years. We have the most developed endocannabinoid system on the fucking planet of any mammal. No mammal is as attuned to marijuana as we are. It is very intrinsic to a lot of our culture, and I indulge in the culture which is intrinsic to because I find it intrinsic to my outlook on the world. So I don't just use it for medical reasons. I also use it for cultural reasons. For those sort of Caleb Markin and all that want to take the piss. Like ever since I did that video pointing out Caleb Martin did fucking whataboutism about ethno nationalism and motherfuckers like going on about hippies smoking weed in the woods, and it's like, oh yeah, well, because I was around a campfire smoking a joint in the woods. Man, I was in the woods because my mate was homeless, and I was spending a few nights with him to fucking keep him company. That's why I was in the fucking woods. Motherfucker.
I am going to end this stream in a way that a lot of people are not going to expect, because even though I'm reluctant to do it, I feel like I have to out of principle. Because
what are you doing?
Well, okay, I'm not ending it now, but I'm just saying that even though I had a falling out with these people, it's only fair that I do it. It would not be fair if I said only justice for Broden, Mac, and Chris when I don't do it for other people. I mean, come on. Anybody, even if you don't like Kyle Phantom, it was pretty fucked up for B level to literally do sex pessing on his fucking fiance. Come on. Anybody, any reasonable person here can agree with that. Anybody.
I mean, even if I am unreasonable, I agree. But what's it? Fucking Dick Shaft McGee, be liberal. Brian. I'm gonna go with that one from that one. So Brian, what a fucking poncy name, Jesus Christ! Fucking sounds like you came from the fucking high courts of London. Hey, motherfucker doesn't understand how like moving around in the Commonwealth works and why he's a petty bourgeois person of Indian descent. Maybe you want to learn the history of India before you start fucking doing virtue signaling. Just because you're from a fucking country that's oppressed doesn't make you oppressed. It doesn't make you a part of that group. It doesn't make it like it's a complicated situation. You share a nationality, but with one nationality of India, India is not one nation. Like you're fucking mad if you think India is one nation, lad. And so, virtue signaling. You don't understand how the Commonwealth works. If you think that your parents came here of arduous struggle, they came here because they were fucking middle class or petty bullshit. They cut the way forward. They got an easy way through. It's not as much as there's free travel in the Commonwealth. It's not easy to move around when you got fuck all. Trust me.
Okay,
I know people who have moved around who are poor.
I'm gonna say this because I have to owe up to this as well. But B level did try to break up a friendship between Kyle Phantom and Iron Inquisitor. No fucking joke. He tried to do that too.
Dude, it sounds like Be Liberal was like the
Data
center of
Craig
all
can
drama.
confirm this. He can confirm this.
I was there.
He can confirm this.
I mean, exile, that's always a good thing to be. Not being a national socialist is a good start.
I know it's ironic, but he was also like during the drama he was reviewing stuff about iron at Spokane College, which he said in private.
Oh man.
Oh yes, yeah, I forgot he did. Holy shit!
Wait, what was that? Sorry.
So, I don't want to say anything about Iron Inquisitor because it's private, but you can confirm.
You don't have to, but Kyle, if Iron Inquisitor wants to confirm this on his own, he
We're
can.
gonna want this like the courts. It's like, okay, well, you can only show well, I'm not mean show, but you know what I mean. Say the affidavits of being liberal. You have to fucking what's the word? The US like to do it with all their documents. Redact. You have to redact the other information.
Like to be the reason I'm doing this because if Chris and Broden and Mac get to be exonerated, then so should Iron and Kyle Phantom, because it's only fair, because it'd be hypocritical for me for some people to do it that I don't like, and other people I don't like either. I mean, everyone that B level's wrong, regardless where we stand. Justice for them all.
Well, I mean, there's a limit to that position, but I get what you're trying to get at. I mean,
Okay,
there's
none of
only
these people
so far you can throw it. I mean, like, you got to understand when it comes to enemies, you don't just throw things out everywhere, like Lenny says. You know, you don't support everyone who is the enemy of our enemies because they might be of a reactionary struggle or movement.
Okay, I understand that, but I'm doing this out of principle.
Yeah.
Well, but I'm talking about a communist principle. Like that is a communist principle. You don't support the movement of the That's a principle of imperialism, Leninism.
I know.
Like,
yeah,
I know, but that's as far as I'm willing to go. Honestly,
subscribe to classical fascism. Oh, that's fucking very very fun. I see you're a cultured thug guy. No surprise there. So you're a big fan of Oswald Mosley then. Oh man, this fucking Star Wars fan base. My goodness.
Okay, but that is again. That's as far as I'm willing to go. I'm not going to be buddy with them.
I mean, fucking my Alexa on the chat's more fucking saying he's a cultured thug subscriber and a fucking loves his New Frontier shit. Like, I see. He likes Oswald Mosley. Oswald Mosley. I mean, interesting thing. I mean, I've never got to go and say this thing that I've pointed out to an actual fascist. It's something you will find interesting, my Alexa. Oswald Mosley's position on the way the British should have changed their imperialism. I think it's in the 60s or the 70s in an interview. Is quite stark similar to how the Chinese run the Belt and Road Initiative. Like, interesting enough food for thought from the other side, you know. Because I mean, what's it? I got no problem with you fascists pushing that China is literally fascist because you're helping doing the fucking Lord's work in our regard. Because we need Marxists to figure out that it's fascist because people keep liking to lie. It's not that they don't know; they're just lying. Like, it's not fucking like it's not obvious. Like, what the fuck? But yeah, there you go. Fun little thing that ties China to Oswald Mosley. Like, not that they copied him, just that they have the same etiquette towards imperialism that Oswald Mosley has in the acceleration of imperialism. No, he didn't want to decolonize the empire. He wanted to turn the empire in a situation where he was exporting more sort of jobs abroad that would structuralize the empire in a way that kept people kept a greater capacity to extract from the empire, whilst also keeping more peace in the third world. He wanted to do it by the way he said it was extract money from the military and put it into infrastructure projects in the third world as a way to develop it. And he obviously advertised it as a way to stop people from moving over because he's a racist and doesn't like immigrants.
Well,
that's also a way to catch on with the racists that support him in Britain. But the thing is, Oswald Mosley and China, they both have the very same etiquette towards imperialism. Both.
Now, I think since we're pretty much done with the B liberal talk, I think we should end this stream because otherwise it's going to turn to something different.
Can I just? Sorry. I've just been quiet.
You never had a chance to really say anything, Garros. Go ahead.
Well, workings. So I've just been taking notes. A couple notes I've taken so far. With B liberal. One, he attacks pan-Europeanism. This is very similar to how Haas does it as well. And the game that they're doing here is pushing this pro-Americanism with 3 Ks, as Caleb would say. Basically, they want to push. Yeah, they don't want us connecting back to our actual cultures. They want us to, latch on to this alien fucking culture. That's why you get all this shit like, Canadian republicanism and all this
Fascist.
other shit. Yeah, and Pan Americanism. And
I was on about in the comments. What's it? The way he's talking about fucking Mosley is humanist.
yes, and
Humanism is
also
humanitarian.
Be Liberal has tried on several occasions to groom me personally as well. Like honestly, that's is what I've come to the conclusion. Not groom
Well,
in the
he
sense of
called
like
you
a
British for the first like fucking while. Like when fucking, I don't know about you sounding British. You sound like a Yank to me. You're a very shouty Yank as well. Like you're very Yank. Like,
I mean yeah, it's like
I'm not trying to be
British, like
offensive.
yeah,
Like I
yes.
don't want to be offensive by that. If that sounds offensive, I just mean like you got like that accent of like the yowed sort of bellowy Yank. Like I don't know how it's not obvious.
Yeah, it's yeah, I
Again, I'm an
think he just
Angloid. I can
did the
spot you fuckers from a mile away. Fucking smelling you out.
yeah. So basically by grooming I mean what do you call it? He wanted to politically groom me because technically I think I'm older than him anyway. But like he can smell my aristocratic background, I think, and whenever he sees that stuff, he always wants to do this like little divide and conquer kind of thing. So this alone shows
I'm afraid of
that
me.
he is a dishonest little piece of shit. And also
I mean, he
another
fucking
thing as well, he
kicked me
brought
off
up
his stream straight away as well. Like, what's it? That's the funny thing.
shows that he
Go
has
on,
such a
sorry,
disdain
sorry.
for like lumpen voices as well. And he also brought up Trav as well. It's like unless Trav is going to address this stuff, we need to realize at this point that Trav is siding with Be Liberal, unless he's going to denounce him publicly.
I mean, he's like,
Honestly,
oh, I don't get why Jason's pissed off. It's like, you equated him to a fascist. Like, what the fuck? In such a Hegelian way. And then he deleted my comments when I commented and slapped him around the arse really hard. And I didn't even get all the points in there that I could have, and he couldn't handle it. Like, man can't deal with his sore ass cheeks, man. Even when people lie about me, I don't typically delete comments. Like, it's just not. Unless you do something that's really disastrous or it's something that's like fucking, fucking hurting them in such a way that's just ridiculous, then maybe. But otherwise, I just let things go. Like, if I've got a criticism for it, I've got a criticism for it. If I haven't, fuck it. Someone else will criticize it. Like that's the whole point of having comrades. So fucking Trav doesn't understand the value of actual comrades. He just has mates, and we're not here to just make mates. I didn't become like mates with Ashley because I just became mates all of a sudden. I became mates with them because we were articulating on comrade behavior. We were speaking to each other because we wanted to speak to each other from communist shit, and so that basis means that it doesn't matter if I fall out with him tomorrow. He's not going to turn around and stop speaking to me. He might not want to chat with me as much or be around me as much, but he's not going to stop coming on a stream or doing anything like that. Like he's a principled communist. He knows there's going to be people he don't like and people you do like. It's not about your mates. It's here to make friends or to make bad. And I wouldn't call him a mate. I call him a bad. How he goes. Same with everyone there. Again, guys, Lyric Terror. I don't know the geezer. I'm on about the communists. You're just the sort of you're the awkward guy who has to stand there and feel left out in the situation. I feel sorry for not to
It's
like
okay.
cooperative.
It's good to like just be a part of it and feel.
Yeah.
It's fun to be able to get your voice out as well. Like it's
Yes.
scary shit, but once you get in the rhythm, you start being able to speak a little more. You never stop getting anxious, but you get you're gonna. The way I go about it is I know I'm gonna say a lot of stuff wrong, so I always just make sure I correct myself, which makes my rambling even longer, which I don't makes it annoying for people here who have to hear me and deal with me. And that's schedules to attain to of sorts. Yeah, Lyric Tarot, I have streams on my channel that are like 10 hours long. There's a stream on it, like I can't remember. It was on my own, the last one. I did one where Ashley was in it, and so a couple other people, and I passed out. They were still like talking. I started talking before I woke up, and then I woke up in the stream because I passed out. I was just listening to them all talk. It was affecting my dreams. Like I'm severely disabled, so I just like try and do what I can to push things out. I haven't been streaming as often at the moment, but I just do what I can to push things out, get my thoughts out. I'm that lumpen proletariat that fucking same as Doxxed. I'm that lumpen proletariat that terrifies people like being liberal for some reason. Even though I'm not a scary geezer. I
No,
couldn't fucking hurt a fly if I tried.
I will.
I'm trying to. They've been
If people,
terrorizing me. But the
Mike,
what's it?
sorry, when you're done
Soundbite.
speaking, when you're done speaking, Stone.
Oh, go on, son.
Well, I think I'm going to end this stream with this. If your guys are wondering, Darth Sinovia, why did you hold this information up for so long about B level? Because if that, to be honest, I didn't want to use it unless an opportune moment arose.
Not only just that as well, you tried to move away from it. Think about this. You gave him a chance to move away. You tried to move away from it. Corporal Cat had something to say. Corporal Cat came and said something. This here is you defending Corporal Cat. His meaning is already dropped for you, and he is just trying to hang on to relevancy, and he's going to try and attack you and put it on you because you've spoken out when you're defending a principled comrade of MRN youth that has fucking all of our backing and all of our support, and is a member of the Bundes as well. Like, if you don't fucking have respect for fucking people like Corporal Cat and people like Comrade Net and people like Doxxed, people like me, people like fucking any principal comrade, any people on the streets, any people of oppression, any trans people, all these people that you seem to want to think you can just disrespect when you please, not because of some outgoing mentality of a body, but because it suits your needs in that situation, it suits your interests, and you hate the poor. You're a scumbag. You're a piece of shit. And you're going to go out and you're going to attack Doxxed because you're going to try and pick him off as an easy target because you're going to try and act upon the trauma, the social trauma you've engaged with him. I know it sounds like poncy internet shit when you say stuff like that, but this is a real thing. When you get people caring for you like a brethren and you don't even show it, like, it's not even just that you fucked them over. Like, Sonovia was showing you fucking love and respect, like, and solidarity, and giving you the chance to be engaged with MRN and pushing forward and all that. Like, MRN was interested in Sonovia, not you shitlib. Like, fucking, the geezer was showing you all the love and solidarity. Net was willing to do that. Jason was willing to do that, and you didn't even show him any brotherly love. Like, you know what? Like, comrades and cadres we're supposed to have a good sense of love and respect for each other. I always say it's love, respect, and solidarity, and it has to be proper love. We have to have some, this is why you see in oppressed group, communists group, they don't just call each other comrades. They call each other brother. They call each other sister. I do it with comrades, or I'll say brother. I do it with a lot of people in general as well. Like, it's a, it's a mannerism of showing love and respect. You call someone a brethren. You show your arm, and you see how far that arm gets you. If that arm of respect gets you somewhere, fair play. If it doesn't go anywhere, it don't. But people are comrades. They are brothers, full of every other name, not just bros, not just brothers. They are full name of the word brothers, like, and that's where it goes into. And I give that respect to people I see as comrades all around. Like, that is, um, maybe that's me being from a broken family and not me looking at hard things. But I've looked at a lot of orgs that are from oppressed groups that are like this, not just the Panthers. Like, this is a process that happens in a lot of Arab and Muslim socialist groups. It happens in a lot of Christian socialist groups. Like, I don't need to just look at Marxism for this. Like, socialism is everything. Like, like Mao's quote about love is about like love in a very sort of hippie sense. You need Che to complete it because Che sort of does kind of insider. You do kind of need love. You need love from each other. You need to have that brotherly spirit, but you need to not get like immobilized by love. We're dialectical materialists and historical materialists. We must stick to those principles through and through. But for those people who stick to our principles constantly and are, great comrades, they're brothers and sisters, and they deserve that brotherly and sisterly love all around.
Agreed. I will give myself
So I
self-criticism.
will say before you say it, fuck you, be liberal. Sorry.
I will give myself self-criticism on this one. I should have broke off with B level when this information, when Broden and Chris were revealing what B level did to me. But I wasn't willing to accept that because I thought it was just lies. B liberal took advantage of my emotional state
Respect for him as well.
my
Like, you give him
emotional state at
respect.
that point. Like, I really did not want to believe someone like that would do that. And of course, that wasn't the only that wasn't the first instance where the signs that B level is a sociopath and a manipulator. It was always there. In fact,
The fact he destroyed you, like the way that he guided you and attacked you and fucked you over and did everything to make you basically, the only way you're going is away from me. It's on the fucking day of your mother's death, man. Like, we can't let that go ahead. He waited until the worst time he could get you. His mother dies. He's someone who you get along with, so he's obviously gonna hear about it. And next thing you know, same fucking day. Not he planned it the day it happened and then moved on. And no, he was ready for this. He was ready to fuck you over. You waited for a time when you were in the worst. A mother's death is the worst thing anyone can have to go through. Like, your mother's death, your father's death. Like, if you've got a decent family, I mean, I understand. I've gone through abuse myself. I understand an abusive family. It's a bit different, but depending on the dynamic and the situation that goes on. But even with my extremely abusive family, if my mother or father died, it would break my heart. Like, but the it's one of the worst situations, if not the worst situation anyone can go through. Especially, you think about how, like, societal the norms are. I'm not saying that this is the way things have to be, just to show that I'm not disrespecting anyone of my LGBT comrades. I'm non-binary myself, but what it is that the with the way that, like, with someone who's, like, been brought up in a sort of, like, they've been brought up as a traditional sort of AMAB male, was brought up to be close to their mother and be constantly seeing their mother go through struggle and then have to go through those struggles themselves when the world envelops for him and all this, that, and the other. I mean, it's complicated. Like, he goes on about his mum shielding for a lot of stuff, but his mum went through hell and back in her own struggles in life in that process. And as someone who struggled with disability, like, it's not so simple as, like, oh, well, question it. Well, she went through fucking hell, and you have to feel that all the time. Having to feel that all the time builds a stronger bond because you're feeling that your mother's in pain 24/7. That has an effect on you. That traumatizes you. And then when it comes to an end of it, you've gone through a struggle. Just going through that feeling of that pain, you've gone through a struggle of having to try and exist in life. You start as already a kick in the bucket, and then you have this little dickhead who's supposed to be a close confidant go and screw you over to a point where it made people who completely utterly disagree with you show their fucking principles, be like, man, this is fucked up now. No, this is fucked. Like, as soon as they realized what was going on and when it was and what was the context of the situation, it was fucked.
What makes it worse is this, like, B level know I was going through this because when it wasn't the first time I said goodbye to my mother. I said goodbye like 6 months before she died, and that was the time I actually thought she was going to die. So I said goodbye twice.
Jesus
and B level knew I was going through this. Like, he fucked with me emotionally. Like, he knew I was going through my disillusionment with the Star Wars fandom at this point as well. So as I was going through this as well, and pushed, like, division with me and the people that I used to work with. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked if B level was planning on doing this to me and was just trying to, like, make me feel worse and worse and worse. And then when my mother died, he was using that as an opportunity to fucking destroy me completely. I don't know why he was doing this, other than some sick, twisted fucking thing that he must have.
You were getting too close to the commie Santa Claus and the Jewish Bundes commie radical retro. I'm saying stuff that sounds a bit offensive. I'm not trying to offend your comrade now. I'm just going off of the way that this. Yeah. I know I'm just saying this out to Comrade Net and other Bundists and other people like that. I know you're not communists. It's just that these people are the type of people who speak shit like that. I contextualize it so I don't. Because this is the thing. These people are so fucking anti-Semitic. It's ridiculous and anti-lumpen. And Jason's position in the lower class always has got him shit. You know.
It's like this shit was here from the very beginning. Like
Polecat is right. Anarchy is direct democracy. So communism is supposed to be direct democracy anyway. So like we're on the same page, technically speaking, because the whole like representative democracy thing in the Soviet Union was a mistake. It was never spent. It's never meant to be like that. It was meant to be a direct democracy.
Like I'd argue that B levels manipulations was as early as 2019. I think when this manipulation happened, like it isn't the first time he took advantage of me. When I had a falling out with Kyle Phantom, I felt like shit, and B level preyed on that.
Absolutely, you're spot on. I just want to say something quickly to Corporal Cat though on direct democracy. So one thing that's quite interesting is that Lenin, one of the Lenin quotes I always remember Lenin saying is that everyone will have their turn in governing society in a socialist system. That is the way it will work. And that was Lenin, very sort of somewhat lacking nuance, talking in regards to direct democracy. Like it's not about the fact that we need a system where it's by the people, for the people. It shouldn't be a representation means that there's a distance between you and the people representing you. It should be a direct democracy. There's no reason to say that we need to be working so much that people can't engage in governance. What the fuck does that? What kind of system are we breeding? I'm sorry, what? Capitalism is producing shitloads, and we have massive amounts of unemployed people. Telling me that we don't have the labor power to reduce hours. Like this is the madness. These people. Okay, Bob is like, why would you reduce hours? You could just produce more. It's like, fuck. Oh, what?
Yeah.
Malthusian, man, he wants to just overproduce. Malthusian wanted to produce as much as possible. He did not say that we need to end it because the overpopulation will destroy our resources. He said that like resources are struggling to will eventually struggle to maintain this population. As a side note, his main thesis was all about producing shit tons of shit so that the petty bourgeoisie and the bourgeoisie could have post-scarcity and get rid of the fucking proletariat. And guarantee a good chunk of the labor aristocracy as well. I mean, some of them will be needed to work the system because you need some form of proletariat to exist. I don't even think Malthus is that stupid as much as Marx dunks on him for it. But the what's it? They would eliminate a chunk of them, I guarantee, because the lower aristocracy. I find that a lot of people in the lower aristocracy are quite susceptible to not only listening to what needs to be said by lumpen proletarians, but knowing that they need to not have they need to be in they need to have because they're in the lower sector of the labor aristocracy, and the labor aristocracy itself is kind of convulsive. They could change their consciousness back to proletarian. Actually, they still withhold some of it. There's a possibility to that, but I know a lot of lower labor aristocrats and basically turn around. They're like, yeah, no, I understand that in the revolution, I can't have any power. It's just more so that after the revolution, I guarantee those people probably could very easily get proletarianized, and they wouldn't need to wait even throughout their own life to get power in the system because the labor aristocracy are majoritively proletarian. I imagine there are some people in there that are fallen from the feudal aristocracy. I know a couple. But I can't just say I know a couple, therefore there are. But you know what I mean. People have got to fallen down from the petty bourgeoisie. I can't just assume entirely because my exceptions can't outweigh the norm. That it's a predominantly uplifted proletarian class. That dynamic is sort of important because, like, that's why the petty bourgeoisie can't be so easily proletarianized. Labor aristocracy is a bit different. It can be, but you kind of have to split it into sections. Like, there's different sectors of the labor aristocracy that are very different levels of fucked and therefore fucked in the head. Like here's the thing. To link it back to be liberal wants to talk about mental health. What is the thing? People have more mental health illnesses in the lower class. You know, sure you can go at us with that. You know who have more psychological illnesses? The fucking upper class. The fuck you. Go away with your fucking bullshit, man. You want to stereotype? We'll fucking stereotype because you guys are the guys that do rapings and mass murderings. Go watch any crime series video. It's always this cozy middle class family living in a semi-detached house that kills kids in their basement, or rapes people and buries them in their garden, or fucking goes on mass murders, guts people and collects their organs. All this mad crazy shit. Always fucking people of affluence. Jack the Ripper came from affluence, mate. You know what? You really want to talk about fucked up shit and do stereotypes? We can go down to that level, but we ain't like that. But if you really want to look at studies of where psychological health and mental health problems arise, I can really split it down to you. We're more likely to have bipolar down here. You guys are more likely to have borderline personality disorder, and I've had a large experience in my life of people with borderline personality disorder. And when it's untreated, it can be monstrous. So you really want to start pulling shit down here. Our trauma does not engage like yours. We all have mental health illnesses. Stop stigmatizing people, you fucking piece of shit. Because at the end of the day, if we look at fucking reality, all guys in the upper class are the ones who are fucking messed up. Not mentally or psychologically is an insult to the people who suffer the things. You fucking messed up. You guys will happily just waver off the struggles of people out there. Israel is gearing up and starting war against the Palestinian people. Caleb Boppin does not talk shit about Palestine. He doesn't care. He doesn't fucking care. Doesn't give a shit. He will let those people get fucking terrorized because China supports them, and can't go against China because China's this big little fucking daddy country, and they like suck the fucking arsehole out. Like, they're all a collective bunch of fucking dickheads. Caleb Moffin is fucking. He blocks any of my fucking accounts if they ever appear on his channel instantly. Like, he's a coward. He's afraid. He won't speak to me. I offered to speak to him in a respectful discussion at first, and he avoided doing it all that time. This is before I even accused him of ethno state whataboutism and shit. He avoided and fled and hid, and had people commenting, his moderators commenting, trying to do ageism at me and other shit like that. And I'm like, what the fuck? You're probably like fucking 18. What the fuck you on about? You Katie Poppins moderator. Shut the fuck up. Like, I'm 20 fucking 3 at the time. I'm 24 now. Well, 24 in a few months. Sorry. At 20. Yeah, it was not long after I turned 23. I think. No, it was just before, actually. Yeah, it was in the middle of the year. It was not long after I got into MRN. That was it. I was 22, almost 23. And like, I'm 22 years of age. At the end of the day, what the fuck does that matter? Like, you're telling me that what? Because I'm 22, I can't engage with Caleb, who's 32. What the fuck? Like, Caleb fucking dresses like a fucking 50-year-old and then behaves like a fucking 14-year-old. Like, what the fuck do you mean? Like, this shit is bollocks. And that's the way these people go to the games. They're all bullshitters. They're all full of shit. They all hide away. Like, Marpen, if you fucking actually watched all of this, which I guarantee you won't, but if you do, because you're going to short shift and leave that about fucking Sonovia or me or or you fucking gonna suggest me our conspiracy about you know, shitting on the floor. It's quite a terrible thing, you know.
And by the
So
way,
it's offensive to ninjas or some shit. But
if you
let me finish this. Sorry to. Yeah,
Sure.
but I was just gonna say that if you do watch this, why don't you fucking trousers on? You're gonna keep fucking talking shit. You wanna go on? How about on my channel, where we're fucking, we can go in a Discord chat or something like that, or a Skype call. I ain't gonna fucking mute you. Actually, in a Skype call, I don't think I have the power to mute you. I can only like kick you from the call or anything like that. So, because it's not a group call. In a group call, I could mute you on Skype, but not normally. So I could just go and we can do this on Skype if you want. What's it? And we can have a discussion, and we can just own this out right now. Fucking, well, I'm not right now, but we can do it right now if you're ready. But I mean, like, you know, it's in from now. You know, go for it. Like, do it. I'm not English properly, but you can engage in this. You can try and gaslightly, try and go about me, but you're afraid. Like, you're too much of a chicken shit to engage with a lumpen proletarian organic intellectual, because you don't believe in Gramsci's theory of intellectuals, just like LaRouche doesn't, just, you know, just like Dugan doesn't. You criticize Gramsci on his fucking, in my opinion, his best piece. I imagine someone will likely disagree with me, because Gramsci has some great pieces on society, well, within the confines of On the Society, and because that's a very big piece on the society is. And then on what's it on Machiavelli? On Machiavelli is really good. But you know, on intellectuals, he's against the organic intellectual. Go on, Caleb, you're a petty bourgeois intellectual. You got fucking I'm all about Caleb. B level doesn't have the chance to have a go with me now. He had the chance to speak with me, and he didn't let me respond to him, so he can fuck off. Like he kicked me out before I could respond. He's just a coward. Caleb Monson has just avoided me, and is an actual person who's out there doing shit. So do you know what? This Caleb Marping is why don't he fucking put his trousers on and come at me, bro? Because do you know what? Like, anyone who supports you should see you as a coward for avoiding me. You're avoiding the organic intellectual. You're a petty bourgeois intellectual. You have college degrees and university degrees, as we fucking call them, because they've been kind of fucking the old education system we used to use before we changed it. And it's confusing, and I'm sick of saying I have to switch between middle school and all this. You guys confuse me with all this different crap. Like we got rid of that. We moved to primary, secondary, tertiary, and I don't know how to say the quad one for four, but Quintary, I think it is Quintary education. There you go. I did the funny Latin, whatever words they are. Yeah, I think they are Latin because primus. Yeah. Okay. But you motherfucker, you're heavily educated. You got the advantage. Come at me. I am a terrible person for sourcing shit for my own game when it comes to being well organized and stuff like that. I'm easy target, motherfucker, but you're afraid of the lumpen proletariat. You're afraid of the organic intellectual. You don't want the criticisms, but
Well, sorry, I lost my train of thought. That what I wanted to, since we pretty much have concluded like this stream. Sorry. I don't know if you've watched any of my streams, but when
whenever I come on, it's a long stream.
Yeah, this was going to be long, but anyway.
Okay.
This is short by my standards. I mean, it used to be long by my standards, but things got longer over time. And next thing you know, I basically like fucked Flash's schedule for at least half a week because I kept him up for like one entire day. Well, sorry, one entire night, basically talking, and then like I don't know whether he even managed to get much sleep in between then. And then next thing you know, in the daytime, because I wanted to do it in the daytime to do the stream, Mandem came on, bless him, and fucking, all respect to that. And like, we were on for hours then as well, and I was stirring and murmuring and getting confused. And eventually he just left and went to bed because like he was gone. Like you could tell in his tone of voice, he had no wake to him, and he was overheated because of the heat drive that's been going on. I mean, the same people are going to die in the UK because of the heat wave we've got at the moment, 40 degrees Celsius.
All thanks to climate change that Philip Maupin doesn't believe in.
We don't get snow properly anymore in the UK, so there you go.
All right, okay, guys, I'm gonna wrap this up, and I said it 5 times.
You say it does not do rap. I love you guys. Thank him, Jungo. You're a legend.
I do want to conclude this string because honestly, how much more can we talk about B-level? We've said everything.
We've spoken that long in the time frame that we've been speaking. He's managed to clean every inch of shit up off Caleb Bobbin's floor with his mouth and nothing else. We've done a lot of speaking.
I exposed him for being a sex pest, from a manipulator to a narcissist to a sociopath. Okay, for any motherfucker who is a fanboy of B-level or B-level himself, and if you try to deny these accusations are fake, there's eyewitnesses.
Red Brown sounds like the type of shit I see when I have piles.
Kyle Phantom, Iron Inquisitor, they're likely watching this right now. And if you try to lie what you didn't happen, oh, you bet your ass that they will fucking confirm it. You don't fucking try. And if you actually try to fucking say other things did not happen, we have receipts, my dude. You were hated by fucking communists and fascists. Like
the fucking people you want to support you don't like you. Like how fucking do you manage that? Like you want to be a fascist disguised as the communists or red brown. You're going for the red brown, but you don't even manage to keep all of them about you. Even the people whom were Like, I mean, like this geezer, this exile geezer in the fucking chat who's blood brown and stuff. He likes Culture Thug. That Culture Thug geezer used to do streams with one of your mates, Be Liberal, Larry the Pinko. They stream together on a channel known as The Untried Path that deleted its content. And he sat there in the stream. Then we never got to watch the bits where he got to spoke because it got deleted from the channel before I could do the second part on it because I had too many people on to do the stream, so we were all just talking too much. But didn't watch the video enough. But what's it? In the stream, like for what we got to watch, like the geezer fucking he's with this CPUSA geezer. The CPUSA geezer's calling Gentile just on the
Utopian
fly,
socialist.
just calling him a utopian socialist. It's like that's sly. That's being what's the word where you're it's being like sly is another word for where you're being like deceptive. That's it. It's deceptive because you're not like using proper definitives. Like the whole point of like utopian socialism versus scientific socialism in Engels' book is to point out that utopian socialism isn't socialist. So we really shouldn't call it that because it's kind of disingenuous. It's like if I was to say that we should, if I was to turn around and tell you to call Nazis fucking Natsucks, you would fucking turn around and call me a dickhead, and I'd say, oh well, you're right, I am a dickhead because I would be a dickhead for doing that. It's like doing that. It's bullshit.
I got one last thing to say, and then this stream is over. And I do
And
mean
hopefully
this.
I don't respond to it. Oh, fucking hate. All respect and red salute, comrades, and solidarity to both Corporal Cat and Sonovia. You guys need to stand by these people in this because I love you, love you, brother, as well. What's it? Respect.
Denounce B level. Denounce B level. Denounce B level.
absolutely.
Denounce B level. Denounce B level. Down with B level. Down with fucking fake socialists. And justice for all of the people that B level wronged. And red salute, comrades. I hope I don't ever have to talk about this fucker again. Fuck B
Well,
level.
I'll just say as well with like my red salute that I was saying a moment ago is that it's like solidarity and with Corporal Cat, with Falcone, with Novia, but we've also got always stay true to the principles of how I typically always end my streams as well, and that's solidarity to the lumpen proletariat and the proletariat of the world. May they unite in their struggle and stop being pestered and split apart and forced to fight against each other by the petty bourgeoisie and the labor aristocracy, trying to mess with our struggle when we are united in our struggle, when we actually crack our heads to it. Stand together, brothers and sisters. Stand strong. Stand true.
Solidarity to Jason Unruh, Comrade Nat, and Corporal Cat.